Big Jon.
What's up, FD?
How we doing? January 27th, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. I'm just chilling. Getting ready. Dug out the snows, back at it.
How many inches did you end up getting?
10.5 inches of snow over the weekend, man. Not too bad.
How many different shovelings did you have? 3?
Oh, I just went out twice. I did one big one, then I came like 3 hours out there shoveling and playing. Came back to the house, ate lunch, and went back out and finished up.
Cool.
My neighbors was good, though. I got neighbors who came over, gave me salt. Neighbors came over with the snow blower and helped me out in the driveway. So, it's good to have some good neighbors,
You got real neighbors. Well, we have a special guest tonight that we want to introduce. We have Nathan coming through. Sir.
Hey.
How you doing,
Nate?
Good. How are you guys? Can you hear me?
Doing good.
Yes. What's going on? Loud and clear, sir.
Oh, good. The headphones are a little bit of a touch and go sometimes, so
crystal clear tonight.
Perfect. Well, thank you for having me. This is the first podcast I've been on in
quite some time.
3 years? Probably 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm glad to have you here. I know you from Slab Stocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was part of the Slab Stocks thing. I think that's what most people in the hobby remember you from. And your good insights on the PWC auctions on Sunday nights.
Yeah. R.I.P. to PWCC.
Mm-hmm. R.I.P. But, give everybody your kind of background, Nate. Introduce yourself to everybody again. Reintroduce yourself.
Okay, well, as John alluded to, I did work for Slab Stocks. You may have known me as Slab Stocks Nate. Did that for 4.5 years. Aaron and I did a bunch of live streams, podcasts, Dinging Corners baseball podcast. You may remember me from, you may not. So did that for a long time, and now I work for Brewtown Trading Co. in Milwaukee. From afar, I rip for them on Fanatics Live when it's busy. Sometimes it's slow, but do some breaking for them, get to see all the new products, which is kind of nice. Ripped some Topps Chrome Olympics lately, which is not a product I normally would have gotten into. So that's been fun. Don't have as much time in the hobby these days as I used to. I had a daughter this past January, so she's almost 1. Thank you. But other than that, life is pretty much the same.
Well, congratulations on the daughter. First child?
Yep, first job.
She got you wrapped around her finger, don't she?
How'd you know?
Oh, I know from experience.
Yep. So I can't say no. She smiles at something in the store. We're getting that thing,
We gonna make it happen. It's good, man. Listen, parenting is it's a blessing, right? It's rewarding in its own way. I found out, my oldest is about to be 19. My youngest is 10, going on 11. And if you'd have told me 20 years ago that I'd enjoy being a dad, I would have told you I am waiting until I'm 80 and rich, and I'm going to adopt a kid on my deathbed. Now I don't know what I'll do without him.
It is for people that don't have kids. You can't really understand it until you're in it. Mm-hmm. And once you're in it, it is the most rewarding experience of my life.
So Nate, and this is first I got to tell you thank you, right? Because I ran to your content and Slab Stocks content when I got back in the hobby in 2020, and it was very educational. And it wasn't we made a big deal, we buy this or buy that. It was actually, hey, this is what this card is. This is why it's worth this much. This is, the hot prospects. And it was just more collective focus and not value of the card focus.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are rolling. So what got you into collecting cards?
Well, I think like most of us, I started as a kid, right? And then video games came along and Legos came along and other stuff, and I got out of it because there was only a finite amount of money a kid has. And then years and years later, Aaron was always into cards the entire time. I go and visit him. He had quit collecting his freshman year of college, or maybe his junior year of high school, somewhere in there. He had quit collecting for a year. And I go visit him and I ask him why, and I'm talking to him about it. And I'm like, dude, you clearly love it. Talked him back into it. He wasn't sure where to begin again. So we talked about prospects, and I gave him a few to that I would maybe invest in. And it was Ronald Acuna. He didn't choose him. Forrest Whitley. He did choose him, made a lot of money. He's not a prospect anymore. He's a failed prospect, but he made a lot of money. And the other one was former Yankee, traded to the White Sox, completely flamed out. So glad he didn't choose that guy. But that was my beginning intro into cards, where I was helping Aaron choose prospects. And then I started seeing all the money Aaron made. I was like, oh, I can do something with this knowledge. So I started jointly buying cards with him, and then would branch out on my own. If you had told me I would have the amount of cards I do nowadays 10 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. And if you'd have told me I would have gone from buying cards solely to make money because I had the knowledge of the prospects in my brain, to now having cards that I won't sell, despite it maybe making financial sense to sell, I wouldn't have believed you either. But here I am, all because of Aaron's love for cards.
What that speaks to two things, right? Having a community, having a friend, somebody you can talk to about this, what we do. Because, I say all the time, you can't just do this online, right? You can't just do eBay, auction houses, Instagram, TikTok, whatnot. It's nice to have people you can face-to-face talk to about, or call on the phone and talk to about and discuss these things with. Just makes it feel more tangible.
Yep.
And then, baseball and prospecting, man, that's a game in itself. That's that top 100 list is very important, and trying to watch that movement up and down. Did you play baseball as a kid in high school, college, or just first love sport?
It was not my first love of sport as a kid. I played a lot of it. I probably loved football and basketball more. But as the years went on, I developed asthma. And pretty bad asthma, so running was kind of out of the equation. So football was gone. I did some cross country, that was gone. I did basketball, that was kind of gone. So then it was down to, well, I played center field. You didn't have to do that large runs, and so the love kind of grew from there, being the only sport I could really play lung wise. And then after I got done, the Brewers were kind of in that era of rebuilding, and they had been good a little bit, and then they rebuilt, and you kind of got into the prospects there, and that really helped my love of prospecting grow significantly.
So we go through the comments, FZ.
Yeah, we got Toby saying, "What's good, fellas?" And he made the statement, baseball prospects are tough to collect because a lot of them don't pan out. It's true.
It is true. I mean,
yeah, if you hit, you're set.
So you can tell me if you agree with me when we talk about prospecting in baseball, right? For me, prospecting in baseball is a value play, because you don't have to risk that much money on your singles, right?
Correct. It was, oh wait, 1 second.
And the reason why I say that is because you can buy color number anywhere between $5 to $200, $340,000. But if you're picking some of those so-called long shots, and you're willing to hold, FD, you like holding stuff for long term, you see that value grow exponentially. Mm-hmm. And then with prospects, you have more chances to turn that card in baseball than any other sport, right? Not just one big game, but also the call up from station to station, to the major leagues, to the playoffs, to the big game. you have more and more chances to go.
Okay, so this kid, Talon Serrano, right?
Mhm.
I picked up a Red Wave non-auto for $36.
Red Wave's what out of
5.
5. Okay.
Yep. So out of 5 non-auto, I picked up a bunch of autos for $5 to $7 a piece, base autos. And this kid, he is going to be stateside this year, likely. He hit 108-mile-per-hour exit velocity as a 16-year-old, and he's a little bit north of that now as a 17-year-old. Crazy exit velocities. So I'm willing to bet, $36 that if he keeps that up, he's going to become a top 100 prospect. And this $36 card and those $7 base autos, this goes to 200 and the $7 base autos go to 50. And so it's about it is risky, right? I mean, he could completely flame out before even touching high A. But the lower levels, the worse the pitching. So right. I am a believer in I don't have to wait for call up. I will on some guys. I've got a Kevin McGonigal, number 2 prospect on almost every single prospect list. I've got an auto of him that I'm going to wait for call up and I'm going to sell and I'm going to be happy with it and then never look at the prices again because I don't want to know what it is if he dominates. But with Talon Serrano, I don't need to sell on call up. I can sell if he does well in the first week of high A ball, or I can sell when he gets to high A, or maybe once he gets called to double A, I don't want to see him against upper level pitching, so I can sell then, or maybe he does well in double A and he gets called to triple A, I can sell then. There's various steps where people will increase their spending in a guy per level, whereas you don't just have to wait to call up. And that's the thing I love about Bowman prospect collecting is I know that the pitching levels increase, and so I don't need to buy a guy in the expectations that he does well in the LB, right? You need to buy a quarterback, NFL quarterback. You buy him. You need him to do well in the NFL.
JJ McCarthy,
right? Exactly. As a Packer fan, I love that Sam Darnold led the Seahawks to the Super Bowl, and JJ McCarthy looks terrible. And John, you're a Bears fan, right?
Yes.
So you're in the same boat.
Oh, I am ecstatic. So the season that the Bears have, if you'd have told me coming into the year, we'd win the North, we'd win 11 games, we'd make the playoffs, and we'd beat the Packers twice, I wouldn't have believed you one bit. So for me, this season is a success because I had no expectations.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about not having expectations is it's fun when you do well. The Bucks, before they got good, no expectations. They started doing well. I was super excited. Now you have expectations. Giannis is injured multiple times. And yeah.
You're on mute, FD.
FD, you're muted.
I was saying I'm glad you did air quotes because I don't think he's hurt. But
yeah, I don't think he's hurt either. And you have the Bucks now with a terrible team. Doc Rivers, like they fired Adrian Griffin after 43 games, something like that, 44 games. And it's like, ever since then, Doc Rivers has led them to I think now sub 500 record, maybe 500 exactly, but they won't fire him. And the expectations are high. And now the watching level is just miserable. Like I'd rather do anything else but watch the Bucks. But if this was a Bucks team from 20 years ago where you're hovering around 500 and you got a young player in like Ryan Rollins, I'd be enjoying it.
Ryan Rollins is playing very well. I went and actually picked up an auto of his.
Oh,
$5 off eBay. Person just suppose, but
good deal.
Like you can't go wrong. Talk about prospecting. That's a good deal. And obviously with the way that season going, he's going to get more playing time and more chances.
Yeah, and when it's $5, the downside of a $5 card is you sell it for like $1 if it's an auto. You lose $4. The upside,
I mean,
you sell it for $50.
For me, the downside of the $5 card is like, okay, I don't get a biggie bag from Wendy's today. I take them on lunch. It's not that really difficult of a choice sometimes.
Yep.
Or it's not that difficult of a risk either, you know? But going back, so before we go into the sports, we do talk a lot of basketball and a lot of football in the show. We don't talk a lot of baseball. So I want to have you on talk some baseball.
Okay.
What do you think about the top 100 prospect list?
It
And I can pull that up.
It depends on the site. MLB Pipeline, for reference.
That's why I go Pipeline.
Yeah. I use them because it's good for selling cards. But I generally find them to be a bit lazy. You'll notice that there's like a number of draftees who are like 3 dudes who were drafted in the draft that all of a sudden are 51, 52, 53rd ranked prospects in a row. And the location of the location of the player in a top 100 isn't that important. The number, like the top 10 is important, but then after that, these guys are pretty close together. Like the 99th prospect and the 59th prospect are probably very close in talent level compared to the 9th prospect and the 59th prospect. Massive gap. So I shouldn't nitpick it too much, but sometimes I feel like they get a little lazy, and they also are very complimentary to players where they throw out, do you guys know the 20/80 grade scale at all?
No, what is that? What is that?
So it is a grading scale where they'll grade a player's hit tool, a player's power, fielding, running, and then arm. 80 grade is like tip top, cream of the crop, the best you can get. And Wander Franco, I know he did some terrible things, but he had like an 80 grade hit tool coming out of the minors, and he was an 80, he was really good. And then there are guys that have 20 grade hit tools, and they usually don't have a career at all, or 30 grade hit tools. And then they do that for, speed. Pete Crow Armstrong would have had 80 grade defense, fielding coming out of the minors. So it's just kind of a way for them to rank the tools the player has. And so I find that, and 50 is average. I find that MLB Pipeline usually puts a lot of guys like average this, average that, because they don't want to be too rude. Especially because it's an MLB owned entity, so they kind of want to probably inflate players more. So it is, MLB Pipeline is good to use for cards because people pay attention to that the most. I just don't love it. I would rather go look at a Just Baseball. They're a new show, a newer show. They do a top 100 prospect list. They're a couple of young guys. They do a pretty good job. Baseball America usually does a good job. What?
So Ari Layton for Just Baseball?
Oh, yeah, you know.
His name's Ari, right? Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Big John, let's go.
Hey, so we all about research, right? When you're doing cards, just don't spend research. And what I like about MLB Pipeline is that when you go into the organizational and you're seeing the S and when they're coming up, right? And that's a tool that I think is more useful for buying decisions than where they're ranked at. Because if you don't know where they're blocked at, I'm not going to pay $200 for an auto for a top 20 prospect that won't see the majors for 2 years because they're blocked by Bo Bichette or Corbin Carroll.
I'm glad you bring that up. That's a major point because the Mets just traded Jet Williams, and they had him playing different positions. He's naturally a shortstop. You're not going to see shortstop in New York with Francisco Lindor there. Right. So completely blocked. If you're not a shortstop, your value goes down because you're going down the spectrum defensively, even if it's not necessarily his fault. So that's a great point, John. That is a huge, and the Brewers are running to that a little bit. They've got Joey Ortiz at shortstop right now. Great defensively, can't hit to save his life. Jet Williams is a shortstop, but He's on the smaller side. Don't know if he's going to stick there. Cooper Pratt is really, really good defensively, but also might not hit enough. But he's probably the first one to get the full-time crack at it if Joey Ortiz fails. But then you have Jesus Mate coming up behind him, and Cooper Pratt is going to have to play like crazy to keep Jesus Mate off of that position. So if you're buying into Cooper Pratt, even though he has the first crack at it likely, he's probably not going to be there long term. And so you're buying a shortstop right now, but probably going to be selling a third baseman or a second baseman.
Mm-hmm. I mean, same thing, like, because you look at the Cubs, right? And we didn't re-sign Kyle Tucker.
Yep.
But I was cool with that because we had Owen Casey. And then we had a power back. We had a power back for right field. You don't have to see Seiya in right field. He can be DH.
Yep.
And then you trade Casey for Bregman. You get Bregman, but like, okay, who plays right field? Because Seiya has proven that he can't be an everyday right fielder.
No, he's not good defensively.
Then you put Moises Balarestas at DH.
Yep. So because you need his bat in the lineup.
You need his bat because that team doesn't have 300 home runs on it.
No,
there's not a season total of 300 home runs on the Cubs team. When I look at that roster, maybe 230, but there's not 300 home runs on that team from top down.
And not that home runs are the end all be all, but it does help.
Yeah.
And if you're sacrificing defense for offense, they'd better be really good. And I wouldn't be willing to trade in defense in right field for Moises Ballesteros or Seiya Suzuki somehow playing the outfield. What doesn't make sense to me about Owen Casey is that you guys could have used help at the trade deadline last year.
Yeah.
Like, why hold on to him? If you're planning on trading him at any point, why hold on to him? Why not get help last year when you're fighting for a division that season?
When you're fighting for a division, team one player away from being a real World Series contenders, one bat away. So I don't understand what they did. I mean, like they spent money this year as a Cubs fan. Cool, we got Bregman. I mean, the left side of the defense as a whole, from second base over, is just incredible, right? There's just Gold Glovers everywhere. From Ian Happ, Pete Crow, Bregman, Dansby, Nico.
Mm-hmm.
But where are the runs are going to come from?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like Bregman is good, but he ran just above like an 802 OPS last year in Fenway, a park that is built for how he hits.
Yeah.
With the Green Monster. It's possible he runs like a 780, 790 OPS in Chicago. And like, you're in a much worse. Now, obviously, he doesn't cost $60 million a year, but you're in a worse spot with Bregman than you are with Kyle Tucker. And not only that, you have to pay Bregman for his age. Is it 33, 34, 35, 36, 37?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do I want to be paying Bregman past these next 2 years? Probably not.
Well, we will. Hey, we're going to trust the process, I guess. I don't know. They're spending money finally. Like
they are, as they should.
So people think are the Dodgers running baseball?
No. Why are they ruining baseball? No.
They are getting a lot of eyes on it, right? A ton of people are paying attention, so that's a good thing. I will say, before I can understand people's arguments of, well, the Dodgers, they're just, if the Braves had paid Tyler Glasnow, he wouldn't be a Dodger. If the Braves had played Freddie Freeman, he wouldn't be a Dodger. And I understand all that. With luxury tax, the Dodgers are paying Kyle Tucker as much as the entire Brewers roster from last year. With the luxury tax, it's $120 million for 1 year of Kyle Tucker. Even if the Brewers wanted to, they could not do that. And so, like, for me, it's like it's a parity thing where they're not they're good for baseball and that they're getting eyes, but there's just teams that that just cannot compete. They get $300 million a year in TV revenue and only have to pay out like 38% for revenue sharing because they got some sweetheart deal in the bankruptcy thing for Frank McCourt back in 2011 or something. And the Brewers right now don't even have a TV contract. And before they were making $30 million, a 1/11th of what the Dodgers were making.
I can understand the argument. I personally can agree with that end of the argument with the fact that these franchises go up 10 to 30% every year in value, and they're making money hand over fist in value. You can find a way to spend this organization. I don't care if you're a small market or not. You can find a way to spend more money.
I agree.
Because they got rid of Freddie Peralta. You didn't want to pay. You just
whoa. It wasn't that they didn't want to pay him. So I saw a lot of people saying they didn't want to pay him $8 million this year. That's inaccurate. They didn't want to pay him $25+ million starting next year for a 30-year-old. So that, yes, they didn't want to pay him that. But I saw a ton of reports like, oh, the Brewers so cheap, they didn't want to pay him $8 million. No, they could have paid him $8 million. They could have afforded it. And you are right. A lot of teams are sitting there that could support 120, 130 $1 million payrolls that are running 70, 80. And there are teams that are running 130 that could be at least 150, 160. I imagine the Brewers could be in the $150 million range. Is that a lot more than what they're running now? No, but that's one more $20 million a year guy. You had one more 20, right? You had one more $20 million a year guy. Now, the Brewers, would they pay that to a pitcher? Probably not. But would they pay it to Rhys Hoskins? They paid him $17 million a year to come play for them. Like, I could see them doing that for a player, Yeah.
I mean, you got organizations that pay the wrong people all the time, right?
Yep.
You look at Pittsburgh, who has signed one free agent in like 10 years, something like that. Something stupid about just signing free agents. So you're not willing to pay anybody, and you have Paul Skeens, you have an ace, a 15 to 20 win pitcher on your team, and he wins 12, 13 games because you don't have the bats to get on run support.
Yep.
Right?
And not only that, but they have Bubba Chandler, Jared Jones,
You have you have 1, 2, 3 that if you see in the playoff series, you think I'm winning 2 games.
Yep.
Right? I got Bubba Chandler, I got Paul Skeens, Jared Jones. I'm winning 2 out of these 3 games if you give me back. They don't even want to sign McCutchen for a legacy clubhouse deal.
I know.
But like Cardinals did it, Angels did it. All these teams, even when they're not winning, we still need that legacy guy. Posey went into his career in San Francisco. Somebody who's going to. This is the culture and the standard that we have here, and you don't want to do that because you don't want to spend money, but you'll spend millions of dollars on a Paul Skeens one-on-one patch to put in Dick's Sporting Goods.
Well, Paul Skeens won't be there much longer.
That's the sad part, isn't it? Right?
But that's the sad part. The sad part, he's going to be a Dodger, Cub, Yankee.
Yeah.
Well, him and Otani were kicking it the other day at the awards ceremony.
And he's not going to be a Cub because there's no way the Dodgers, the Yankees, or Mets get outbid. No. I wouldn't be shocked if we see a record-breaking pitcher contract for Skeens. Like some team goes 3 years, $300 million type of deal.
Would you pay Skeens or would you pay Skubal?
I would pay Skeens because he is younger, right? I mean, now he will also be younger when he hits free agency, less mileage on the arm. He started as a catcher at Air Force. He didn't throw a ton. I mean, I would pay. Don't get me wrong, I'd pay Skubal as well. He has the look of a guy who's going to be an ace into his late 30s. Yeah. But if I had to choose between the two, Skeens.
I was reading somewhere today that Randy Johnson at the age of 26 had 17 wins as a pitcher in the majors. He ended his career at 303. His prime was when he was 35.
Hey, he's a late bloomer.
right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're gonna have some like that. You never know with these players, but I wouldn't be afraid of School's age, especially in Detroit with a team that. Because I tell FD every year, no matter who the Dodgers get, it's baseball. Weird stuff happens in baseball, right? The averages always average out in baseball. Some way, somehow, you looked at that World Series and you thought Toronto had no chance. That World Series went to Game 7, bottom of the ninth to decide the winner.
Yep.
Right.
And
it was never a runaway for the Dodgers.
They were 2 inches away, Toronto, at one point. 2 inches of a cleat away from, didn't happen.
So it's no matter how much money you spend, it is still baseball. You just have to spend the money you have right.
Yep.
And
you're kind of supporting the Brewers not signing Peralta, right? Because they have made the playoffs 7 of the last 8 years. They trade away guys, they get new guys in, they build them up, and their thought process is, well, we just have to make it and hope we get hot. It hasn't happened yet.
That is the bad part. The hope we get hot part.
Correct.
Is where the fall is where let me spend a little more money and let me get somebody else. Yeah. Let me get one more, right?
The problem is
same thing with the Phillies.
Say they signed Freddie Peralta. Is this Brewers team currently constructed with Freddie Peralta really have that much more of a chance against, if they went up to, say the Brewers went up to 160 million, that gives them $30 more million. They spend 25 on Peralta next year, and they spend $5 million more on some journeyman reliever. They're up to 160. Does that give them the ability to beat the Dodgers, who are running luxury tax payrolls into the like 500-600 millions? So I'm definitely not against having more good players is good. But I almost wonder if you're better off just getting young guys that are hungry and seeing if you can turn them, like they turned Quinn Priester. They took Quinn Priester from the Red Sox. He was on the like 9th in the pecking order, 10th in the pecking order on the Red Sox starting pitching depth. Red Sox trade him away. Everyone was like, wow, the Brewers got robbed. Why would they give this much up? I had a buddy who's big into prospects, who does a bunch of work with prospects, and he texted me, he said, what are the Brewers doing? There's no way they can fix Priester. He's broken. Not only did they fix him, they fixed him within like 3 weeks, and he was instantaneously a mid-rotation arm for the Brewers. That was not the case for the Pirates, who are good at the pitching development right now, or for the Red Sox, who are pretty good at pitching development. And so for me, I don't know, I guess I'm okay with the idea of trading away your Freddie Peraltas, your Devin Williams, your Josh Haders, getting other guys in, and then seeing what you can do with them and see if you can turn them into multiple Freddie Peraltas.
One moment, I gotta do something for my daughter real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So Nate, you're from Milwaukee,
correct?
Born and raised?
Well, born in Kansas, lived there for a year, raised in Milwaukee.
Okay, all your life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. I grew up in Chicago. I've only been in Milwaukee one time. I went in what was it, 2012. I used to live in Detroit. I drove from Detroit across country and ended up going to Milwaukee on my way back out to LA. It was on Marquette's campus. Ate at a great Greek restaurant not that far away from Marquette's campus. It was a cool. I had never been there growing up.
Was it Oakland Euros?
I think so, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oakland Euros is so good.
Wonderful. Yeah. And this was back when I ate meat. I don't even eat meat anymore.
Oh, no, FD.
But the food was on a whole nother level. The service, the decor in the place was on a whole nother level.
Yeah, it is. It is good. Would you say, so I've never been to Detroit. Okay. Would you say Detroit and Milwaukee are very similar? In my head, I imagine Detroit.
I wouldn't say so.
No?
No.
Okay.
Detroit. No disrespect to my people that are from Detroit. I love being there. I met some of the most genuine people while I was there. But Detroit financially has all kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I was there. It went from 1.1 million to 860,000, and I was only there 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Detroit is in its own. And then I went to Flint, Michigan back then, and we know what a lot of stuff has happened in Flint since then. So
Yep.
Detroit has its own economic stuff going on. People similar to Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yes, but everything else that's going on different.
Okay. 'Cause I just I've never been there, but they're Detroit industrial town, kind of on the downswing. Milwaukee industrial town on a little bit of the downswing. Cleveland, right? I always imagine them to be kind of the same. So I have a little bit of a soft spot for not a big soft spot for the Lions, okay? But more of a soft spot for like the Pistons and the Tigers, and then like the Guardians, where it's like I feel like we're all kind of living the same lives, same team.
Very similar. Yeah. I've never been to Cleveland, but being in Detroit, Milwaukee, some similarities there.
Okay. We just don't
I always call it the Midwest is not Chicago. There's a vibe.
And I hate to say this. You guys will never hear me say this again. I kind of like Chicago.
It's a nice city. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in the city, man.
It is hustling and bustling. It's cool. There's stuff to do. The food's good. It's pretty nice downtown. It's cool. And that's the last I'll ever say that again in my life.
All right. We heard
YouTube lives forever. All right. So Chicago's good. Bears suck. Then they got Caleb Williams that got good for 1 year.
Now here's the question: is Caleb Williams good?
All right. Honestly,
interesting question.
Honestly, last year I thought he didn't move his feet well. That was my main problem. His pocket and his feet. This year, I'm impressed with the arm strength and the arm accuracy, but we cannot backpedal 30 yards to throw a 50-yard bomb to somebody in the backfield, right? That cannot be how we win games week in and week out. And I didn't see him pump fake one time this year. Right?
Hey, he may have a little Brett Favre in him. He may be a gambler with the ball.
But I didn't see a pump fake to look somebody off. I just didn't see little nuances that are needed to be a great quarterback, right? You have great talent, but the mind part of the game is still developing. Like he made some audible at the line. He made some switches. He's getting better at the mental part. But as much as he has his legs, like kind of like early Josh Allen, as much as Josh Allen had his legs, his game improved once he started pump fake and be able to look people off correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? DJ died on that route because DJ didn't think he was getting the ball.
Yeah. And now we know why DJ's always been on bad teams. DJ Moore, he's I think somewhat of the issue. So much talent, and yet not willing to give 100% every single play.
That I would get that. A lot of talent should be top 5 wide receiver, but also them two have never really had a wide receiver 1 quarterback relationship.
Yeah.
Caleb's guys is Loveland and Odunze. Those are his guys. It is not any of the vets on their team. His guys are Burden, Loveland. Like he doesn't throw the ball to Komet. He doesn't really throw whatever. I don't care what the progression is. DJ seems to be the last one for Caleb to actually throw the ball to.
which is crazy.
There are games. So you go back to the first game with the Packers that they lost. On that last play, DJ's wide open with nobody in front of him, and he throws it to Loveland, who was covered.
Yep.
So you take that weeks back. This play is going on a long time. You haven't thrown the ball my way. I don't think I'm getting the ball.
That's fair. That's fair.
Loveland had 10 catches that game. So
yeah.
It's just kind of one of those things where I can see both sides of it, right? You don't throw me the ball when I'm wide open for the game because you want to get your buddy. I'm not, but I also, you've seen the last 3 games, I've made the touchdown winning catch in the last second. So
yeah, some players just don't vibe with other players. So
that's true. We shouldn't expect them to, right?
No.
We've all had jobs where we go into work and there's that one guy where it's like, as long as I don't have to talk to that guy today, I'm good.
Yeah, I think that stands for because Fields and DJ, they were close. Fields got DJ the ball. This is why Fields last year, when we got the coordinator from Seattle, I'm like, you run 4 routes. Your whole scheme is post, dig, dives, and bubble screens. That is your whole route tree of the whole year. You look at every pass play ran that year, bubble screen, post, dive, and a dig. That is it. No slants, no ends. It was a terrible route tree on every play design. So I am more willing to see what Caleb does next year because Caleb and Ben will now have expectations.
Yeah.
And film.
Yep. Film and teams that are, you don't think the Packers are going to want to tear the heads off the Bears after Ben Johnson's, they're going to want to tear the heads off of them. And every single team that is every single head coach that's a friend of Matt LaFleur's, which is quite a few, they're going to want to destroy the Bears.
And hey, listen, I'm here for it. Listen, I say F you Packers every day. Okay? The Packers and Bears rivalry is the best rivalry in sports, hands down. But it's also, from a fan to fan, probably the most respectful and most understanding rivalry. We don't like each other's teams.
No.
We don't like each other, Nate, like that. You know what I mean? It's not like we don't like each other. We just don't like each other's teams. You good people to me. We both good people.
Yeah.
But it's F the Packers. It's F the Bears. Cheese grater. It's all fun, but it's not personal. You see the New York teams fighting. You see Dallas and Central. You got their fans fighting. I've never heard of a Bears Packers game and people fighting in the stands and fighting on the concourse.
It's happened a few times at Brewers games, but it's not. So what's crazy is growing up, I just really used to not like Bears and Cubs fans, right? Just couldn't stand them. It turns out I have a lot of friends now through cards that are Bears and Cubs fans, and they're all great people. And the one thing that is consistent about them is that they all live and grew up in Illinois.
Yep.
It is the Cubs fans that I meet that grow up in Wisconsin that are the absolute worst.
Interesting.
Yes. So my brother is not. My brother's a front runner. Whoever the front runner team is, like, you're from Chicago. Why are you rooting for the Lakers, not the Browns? Why were you rooting for Cleveland? So
family.
When he was a teenager in high school, Rams were playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and everybody in the house, we're going for St. Louis, close proximity, Rams. I'm going for the Patriots. We buried him in 12 inches of snow.
We've all had, I know it's your brother, so it's a little worse. We've all had buddies like that, right? Where it's like they randomly like some college from somewhere that they're not associated with at all, and then they like an NFL team on the complete opposite side of the states, and NBA team on the complete other end of the United States. And it's like, how did you come up with these teams? And the only thing consistent is that they win.
Yeah, you are a front runner. It's okay.
And the losing is the beautiful part.
Mhm.
The amount of years I sat through watching the Bobcats play the Bucks game 1, and it's like a 90-88 game that the Bucks lose, and it's miserable. And one time my brother asked me, he's like, dude, why do you watch the Bucks? They're not fun. They're not enjoyable. I'm like, they're my team. All of that misery and terrible sports watching with a little bit of sprinkle of Brandon Jennings magic and a little bit of sprinkle of Andrew Bogut and Michael Redd in there. The rest of it, atrocious. And then you get to 2021 and the Bucks winning the championship, and I had tears in my eyes. A grown man crying over a game because of how much you watched, how much terrible basketball you watched to get to a point where you're finally on the mountaintop. And I can't imagine. I will take that one championship. I just one. And similar for the Brewers, all I need is one. All I want is one. I'll take one and have a losing season the rest of my life than front one and just try to watch a winning team consistently and just flip-flop teams.
No, I agree. Like, as a Bears fan, as a Cubs fan, as a Bulls fan, I haven't had a championship in my city in 10 years. Right? 2016 Cubs.
That was 10 years ago?
That was 10 years ago, 2016 Cubs.
Oh, man.
Right? Bulls in 99, Bears in 85. I wasn't even alive when the Bears won it. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so for me, when watching the playoffs run, when the playoffs started for the Bears, I was like, we could lose to the Packers and be out. We can make the Super Bowl. Like, it's some football guy magic that we get 40 years later, Bears, Patriots in the Super Bowl again. Like, it's
I know.
Again, we get football guy magic, right? Seahawks, Patriots in the Super Bowl again.
Mm-hmm. Or it could have been the Rams. You know, Aaron Donald gone, number of other guys gone. Rebuild in 3 years, still have Matthew Stafford win, back to the Super Bowl. I'd have been so upset if it was the Rams. I'm kind of upset it's the Patriots and Seahawks, but more upset if the Rams could just lose the best defender in the NFL and then be back to this without trading him, without getting anything for him, and then being back to the Super Bowl.
And getting rid of Cooper Kupp 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Puka, right? So that system. But again, you watch that game, you see a coach who outsmarted himself.
You think McVay is a good coach?
I think McVay is a very good coach and a very good play caller. I think he falls in the trap when you're brilliant, when you outthink yourself. I think
that whole group, Shanahan, McVay, and the coach of the Packers, they're all in the same.
Yep.
Yeah, all the same boat. They don't do much. It's not going to work out for them. None of them are going to win.
I would say that my biggest gripe with them, having watched LaFleur a ton, and also watching last week's game with McVay, is that the two worst. I saw a stat the other day, and I didn't read too much into it, but the two worst special teams by far of like the last 10 seasons, Packers, Rams. And like a significant margin between them. And I don't remember, I didn't look super carefully. There was an actual number associated with this stat, and it was like -160, -170, and then like 29 or 30th place was like -70. And I don't know what the number is for, so don't, but it's just one of those things where just seeing a negative that big was enough for me to be like, yeah, I knew the Packers special teams was terrible. And they lost us that game against the Bears. They lost us another like 4 games this year that would have put us not even having to play the Bears because we would have been in first place or close to it, a bye. And they lost us a chance at the Super Bowl against the Seahawks with a muffed onside kick. Muffed onside kick against the Bears this year. And just so many opportunities over the last 10-ish years where special teams specifically has cost the Packers win after win after win after win after win. And Rich Bisickia still has a job as of right now. even though the special teams is terrible. And the Rams, similar story. And that muffed punt, they lose by 4. The Rams go on, or the Seahawks go on and score instantaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Cost them a game. It cost them the trip to the Super Bowl.
It all flows through the head coach, and
Yep.
you know they were all on the same staff.
Yep.
My question is, why do the Packers every 3 years always get a tie?
I don't know.
Every 3 years, they always tie with Dallas. Like every 3 years, it's like, why? You're gonna make the, and I'll go. You're gonna make the playoffs because you got a freaking tie.
Yep. Now, to be fair, they could baby it with Jordan Love the last 2 weeks because they had it locked in. You know, if they didn't have that tie, Jordan Love would have been playing, and you know, you would have been going for a win one of the last 2 weeks. So yes, they got him because of a tie, but they probably took at least one loss that they wouldn't likely have.
What do you think of Love? What do you think of Love as a quarterback? You like Love as a quarterback?
I do. Obviously, he's not Brett Favre and he's not Aaron Rodgers. So like, it's like comparing, I don't know, if I was smoking meats, it's like comparing smoking chicken to brisket or ribs. Good, right? Good, but it's not the same. He threw for 330 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he was like a half a second more being able to hold on to the ball from getting a 5th touchdown to Christian Watson to win the game there. Like, he is very good. I know people don't want to give it to him, and I know a lot of Packer fans don't want to believe that because they watched 30 years of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and it just doesn't look the same. But I am a
decent, though. I just think he needs better coaching. I think he's pretty decent.
I think he's very decent.
Yeah.
Here, I said the only good thing I'll say about Jordan Love is that if he was the Bears quarterback, I wouldn't be mad.
That's what I'm saying. He has skills. Man. He has skills.
Yeah, he does. I wish he would run a little bit more. It seems like he's hesitant to run, and there was a couple times during that Bears game where it's like, we don't need that many yards. I think you could have picked it up with your feet. And it's like, well, why aren't you willing to run? I know he's not the fastest guy in the world, but
I just think guys that probably don't want to get touched, but you know, they can go for it though. But you'll see some guys here and there that just like I still don't know what Sidham was doing with his back against the end zone and you're shot putting the ball.
Yeah.
Twice.
It almost looked like he was setting that up to fail.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Patriots have good defense, but you're an NFL quarterback. You don't get there by accident. So how is it possible that these dudes come into, like, look at the Packers with Malik Willis. He looks great coming into games. And honestly, I think I like Jordan Love a lot. It seems like LaFleur is a better play caller with Malik under center than he is with Love. Mm-hmm. And how do you get to a point where Jarrett Stidham is not, maybe it's nerves, AFC championship, you know, that's a lot of nerves.
Could be.
But some ridiculous mistakes that just you can't have.
No.
And, you know, in the Sean Payton, right? I'm not a big fan of Sean Payton. I just don't like the guy. But to come out and say, you know, he's better than half of the starters in the NFL. We have a starting quarterback on our and give him out. I don't know how much of that was he really believed that, or he trying to instill confidence in him. Because we've seen Stidham here in New England. Yeah. We've seen him, and like, there's no way I thought he was winning in that game.
Yeah, and honestly, it was closer than anybody expected.
Yeah,
probably due to the weather. Yeah.
But I initially thought it was up here in Boston, but I mean, so with the weather we were having, I thought it was going to be bad weather, and I was like, Patriots was going to win, just because they're going to. I don't know the name of the Broncos running back, so obviously I don't think they're good.
RJ Harvey, and was Dobbins, J.K. Dobbins. They're really big on the. He was supposed to. I did not get to watch almost any of that game. He was supposed to have been back healthy, but I don't know if he did end up making it.
Watching that game, it felt like Sean Payton wanted to prove the point that Stidham was good by all the pass plays he called instead of running the ball. And the Patriots did the exact opposite. Oh, this weather's bad going this way in the fourth quarter. We got a lead. Here you go. Here you go.
But you know,
Here
Sean
you
Payton
go.
offense, he's not running the ball.
Hmm?
Sean Payton offense, he's not running the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at those Saints teams.
Yeah,
They were slinging the ball around. Drew Brees was setting records.
That's not even what he coaches, man. He's going to air it out, and if you can't do that, then we'll go home. Can't go home.
Which begs the question: if you can't adjust for your backup quarterback, do you have the right coach in there?
But Nate, you know, most of these coaches, they run their system.
It's true.
And if you can't, if that doesn't happen, that's how they can go home and put their head on the pillow for 3 hours a night. If you can't do that, then we're just going to fail until we get that player in here.
Which
you see, you guys seen Room of the Titans, right?
Oh yeah, love that.
It's like Novocaine. We go running. That's what that's how most coaches do. It's like roll Novocaine. We gonna run it and it's gonna work.
That's right.
Fun fact about Remember the Titans: that is one of like 2 movies that if I'm scrolling around TV and that is on, I will stop and I will watch it until it's done.
I like that.
Love that. Love Denzel. Oh, so good.
It's such a good movie. And I didn't realize that the actor that did Gary Bertier, that he was Obi from Sons of Anarchy, and now he's going to be in the God of War series.
Really?
Yeah. Same actor. Didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Just the transformation, I did not know he was Obi from Sons of Anarchy, which I love. And one of the few TV deaths I cried, I shed a tear for. And now he's going to play God of War. So I'm like, oh, good job.
Cool. So let me ask you guys a question. You've been doing this for a few years now, right?
Yeah.
What?
Just over a year and like 3 months together. And
okay.
Been doing this for so longer than that.
Year and 3 months. What made you want to start?
Oh, after that.
So I've always wanted to talk sports and talk about the hobby. I used to want to do sports talk radio. So this is going back since I was 18, 19 years old.
Okay.
And then when I was in college, like we would meet up in the Student Union building and just talk sports as a group. And back then, you kind of had to know what sports you were talking about. There was really no internet to consult. We had internet. We had a computer room in the library, so there was no phone there was no smart anything back then. So I just love. I love the numbers associated with sports. I love the physicalness of sports, and I love the inner workings of a locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, not enough of that is presented. At least not when Stuart Scott was on ESPN. Not enough of that was presented at the time. It was from a columnist perspective, because at that point, people had started making a move from writing like Skip Bayless and Howard Cosell in a publication to covering the sport or talking about the sport or in the booth when the sport was going on. Then when players started coming into the booth during a game, like Brady is now or Tony Romo is now, that was new. I remember that as a kid. That was new. And then when you had players actually on shows breaking down the sport, it became very new over the years. And I've always thought in the hobby and just in general, you don't have enough ex-athletes talking about something that they have actually experienced or been around somebody that was the bomb at what they've done. So I always wanted to just talk about it. And then so Big Jon was a person that was regularly in the comments of whatever I was doing and throwing in bomb comments. And like, I just kept noticing, like, who is this dude that keeps bringing up stuff that's like, man, that's very thought-provoking. And then we would talk about it. And then I found out that he was from Chicago and we had some interest. And then I asked him to be a guest. I'm about organic guests, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I love, and this is no disrespect to anybody, I love when people talk to CEOs of companies. They're detached from a lot of stuff, right? So I love to talk to you, Nate, and people who are in the hobby and trading cards and at shows and traveling. And so when I have those people here talking about the hobby, Big Jon was one of those people. I like to plug people from the comments. And so we've had like Toby's here tonight. We've had people here. I've invited other people on. Jordan's here, that we have those people on and we talk about the hobby. So Big Jon started coming on. Then he became a reoccurring guest. And then one day I was sitting here and I was talking to my family. And I'm like, this guy needs to be a co-host of this show. And I hit him up and asked him one day, would you like to be a co-host? How do you feel about consistently getting on every week? We know that when this is about effort and love, what we do. You got to love to talk about this stuff and then get up in here and I wanted someone that could think differently than me and have disagreements, but they'd be healthy disagreements. We're just articulating what we think about something. And there's nothing wrong with thinking differently. So Big Jon was the perfect person because he's consistent all the time. He's going to be here. Sometimes it's hard to find a person that's going to show up every week.
or just once.
That's
when
right.
You ask them to.
Just,
Because they think it's Thursday.
Or just be excited about something that just went on and enthusiastic about it. So that's why we're here right now. But I wanted this years ago. And I think my father passed away, Nate, in 2020. And I used to talk to him for
COVID?
years. No, he passed away from heart failure.
Oh,
around
my condolences.
Thank you, sir. But we always talked about how I wanted to do this, and he told me once, he was a very straightforward person. He told me, you need to stop bullshitting about doing that and actually get up and go do that.
Yep.
Because he says, I've never known you to keep scrubbing on something and not make a move on it. But so when he passed away in December, that following May of 2021 is when we started making content. And then a little bit after that, we started, I started 2 podcasts at the same time almost.
So it's almost like you are honoring your father.
Oh, yeah. He kicked all this off.
This.
He started me wanting to collect a card. He was the first person when I was 8 years old. Like, why don't you do that? He wanted to do that with Willie Mays and Hank Aaron back in the day. He couldn't. He would get the cards and put them in his bike spokes. That was cool. He realized how much went through his hand now. And then when I started wanting to collect autographs at 13, he was the person that took me to my first show. We ended up meeting Willie Stargell at a show, and like he kicked all of that off. So all of this is really about the seed that he planted and my mom nourished for me to want to do any of this.
It's awesome. I love when it's family oriented,
For me, me. When I find things I like, I am very I'm in there every week. Every now I'm coming. I'm talking. I used to ride the bus to school, back page, reading the box scores, reading the articles, and playing sports. I think differently than a lot of people, and I like having fun and being me. And so when I got a chance to do this, I'm like, yeah, I can do it every week. And once you get to know me, I am not a shy person. I can talk, and we always have good conversations. I like inviting different guests and trying to, we're both from Chicago, but he's on the West Coast in California. I'm on the East Coast here in Connecticut. But I watch a lot of content. I go through a lot of different things, and so I know different people in the hobby just from conversations we have, and he knows different people. So we like to have. We've had. People who throw shows on each coast on. We've got people who travel the store. We have, we try to cast a wide net. Unlike most shows, and try to repeat same thing, same people, same topic.
Yep.
We talk about cards, but we talk about sports more, and that's why I like about the show other than other shows, because a lot of shows it's all about the cards and the value of the cards, week in, week out, episode after episode. And we agree on things and we argue about different things. And like I say, we normally talk a lot of basketball, a lot of football, but I am more from a card standpoint into baseball and wrestling. So I always try to look to get those guests on just to diversify what we have here. And me and FD, we've been doing this a year and 3 months together, and we are good friends, a good rapport on, and we argue big brother, little brother most of the time.
Yep.
So we have fun, and this is fun. Now,
yeah, I have a blast every week. I look forward to this every week.
We normally talk for 3 hours every Tuesday night. How many YouTube shows talk for that long?
Holy smoke.
And a lot of times, Nate, we know a little bit about what we're going to talk about, and then stuff starts coming up that's happened that week, and we're about to get off, and I'm like, hey, what do you think about people saying LeBron didn't beg the Lakers to draft Bronny? And then we'll start talking about that story.
As you can see, there's no set script. There's no pre-record questions. You know, we don't do like gotcha journalism. So, we don't want to talk. We acknowledge the controversies when asked about it, but it's not something that we overly need to investigate, right?
There's other people to do that, and also I find that people like negatives, it's kind of miserable just reporting on negatives all the time.
That's what I think. And I think
more fun.
I really believe you can easily make content about something that was negative happening. Can we jump into why this player is better than that player, dig into some stats, get analytical with it, and bring something that's original?
Yeah.
Or just talk about a card that someone stole from someone else and okay.
Or PSA doing this, or SCG doing that.
Hey, so I have a question for you guys. You said you talked to card show people. I had a buddy who went to the Spokane card show. I live in Spokane, Washington, and I didn't get to go this weekend. But he messaged me and he said, "Stop by the show. It was packed. Lots of Pokemon, some sports, and a single One Piece table." And the last time I went to the Spokane card show, it was like 50, maybe 60% Pokemon, to like 40% sport.
I went to a front row card show 2 weeks ago in San Diego. That was probably 65% Pokemon.
Yeah. I just, 2020, 2021, these shows would be like 90% sports. And now I don't know anything about Pokemon. I don't know anything about One Piece. I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering. But I go to these shows where I'm expecting like cards, and I end up just seeing Pokemon after Pokemon. And then also I'm always looking for baseball guy. And it's always like 10% baseball. So
but you know what it is though? You can't have 8 guys hitting 300.
It's true.
And then you're gonna run that. It just doesn't work.
We talked about Paul Skeens and Tarek Screwball earlier, right?
Yeah.
How do you combat the fact that the Brewers had 4 guys that touched 100 coming out of their bullpen this past year? Back in, they had a guy, Mizorowski, who throws a 92-mile-per-hour slider, the same speed as like the top end Brewers starter threw a fastball in like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, I mean that's like a Greg's fastball,
right? And so like, I understand that people are upset, and some of that is because guys are selling out for power more instead of contact, but some of it's just pitching has become impossible to conquer because you have guys throwing 103 with 92-mile-per-hour or 95-mile-per-hour sliders and 92-mile-per-hour changeups and 89-mile-per-hour curves, and I don't know.
When you go to the show though, right?
What?
People when you go to a show, people hear all these names, but they still have Strasburg in the back of their head.
That's true.
So they've seen that, smelt that, scratched that, and it didn't work out for them. So now I can go get Pikachu, who will never have Tommy John, who's never going to get hurt. And there's a buzz there right now. And we know that in the hobby, it's like it's like Frogger back in the day on Atari. People are jumping from thing to thing to find where's the next trend that I'm going to ride up, and then I can jump off of that onto something else. Is it Bitcoin? Is it Pokemon? What is it? Right? Because you can only have so many Ja Morants, Zion Williamsons, Ben Simmons. You only have so many of those.
Ugh,
This I'm looking out for you.
that's a who's
Yeah,
who. of
the
money
way
lost.
I said, I tell Big John, if you're looking at any of these players, it was never going to work. Zion doesn't have a jump shot. We saw Blake Griffin, right? So you know that's
Yep.
not going to work.
And also a conditioning issue.
That's right. And really putting his condition in the wrong place, right? And Ja is never going to be Allen Iverson because he doesn't have a jump shot. He can't shoot the basketball. So that's why he takes it to the cup. And Ben Simmons he never had
Never gonna be LeBron.
ever.
So to answer your question, right? We had Scott who runs EC3 Con here in Connecticut, and it is he's doing it for 3 years. It grew from a 60 table show to a 300 table show.
Wow.
Right, and he runs it 4 times a year. It's a great show, my favorite show to go to. So, but he explained it like this: if you don't have somewhere at 50-50 in that Pokemon, you're missing out on everybody. You're gonna have half the people coming, and as shows get bigger, right? So they go from 60 tables that are 50-50 to 300 that are 50-50. That is still 120 more tables that have sports on it. There are 120 more tables that have Pokemon on it, and there's a lot more variety in Pokemon than there is in sports. There's, I'm doing a show this Sunday, my third show of vending, and the first 2 shows I had no Pokemon, but I noticed as I'm looking at shows and I'm going to shows, the tables that have Pokemon, but later in the day they still have customers coming. They still have people coming to talk to them and chat and look. So again, I've been picking up, brushing up Pokemon. Have some nice cheap stuff because I do shows to talk to more people, have fun, liquidate some stuff I don't want, so I can go buy some more Kobe Whites and Cade Hortons and my Cubs and my wrestling with all the stuff I don't really want to keep and have and don't want to take the time to put on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as much as sports people hate seeing all the Pokemon, you have to look at the show and just kind of think it out from everybody's standpoint, from a hobby standpoint. Everybody, you collect baseball and what else from trading cards?
Baseball and then Packers Bucks,
right?
Now,
if FD goes to a show with his kids, he collects basketball, but his kids collect Pokemon.
Yep.
Oh,
right.
True.
So this show is serving all age groups because it has both.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Right. So if I think sometimes in hobby we have to take the selfishness out of these shows and just think about who's all coming, because this is, for that showrunner, it is a business. They are trying to put on the best show possible to get the most people in to have some return on their investment. From the vendor, same thing. And I've been to shows where people had nothing but vintage, and in 2 hours they just had 4 people come by. Yep. I've been to shows I don't have vintage, and I've only been there 6 hours, and I've only had 3 people come by asking did I have any vintage, or say they were looking for vintage. And I'm a person who's standing up saying hi to any and everybody that walks in my peripheral view. I'm standing around saying hi to you, trying to strike up a conversation, not even to sell you anything, just to talk. I'm trying to pass 6 hours of time. Right? So you can't, if you want to make the most money, you need to have a little variety. Not saying having a lot of Pokemon or a lot of sports, but you kind of have to mix it up a little bit. This One Piece wave, I just can't get on it. It's too much, too fast, that I don't think sustainable. I know everybody I work with that are under age 25 loves One Piece. None of them that I work with under the age 25 like cards.
But also a lot of people that jumped on that One Piece lily pad, are jumping off as we talk right now.
Mm-hmm. But if you look at all the people that like Pokemon, right, that watch the shows, they like cards. All 90% of people who watched Pokemon bought the Game Boy, played Pokemon game, bought packs of Pokemon, trying to pull a Charizard back in '99. So that's why I can't get on the One Piece, because
there's no history.
One point in 20 years, it'll be nostalgic for those people. Those people right now are not into the cards for the sake of collecting the cards.
Yeah. Which is I think the big issue with a lot of trading cards is a lot of people just view it as a way to make a buck. But if there's nobody that actually wants the card at the end to have, like we make fun of Dick's Sporting Goods for buying Paul Skeens for $1.1 million, but they bought that card to have, to put into their museum, and there it stays forever.
It's a marketing expense.
You know, and if you don't have, even if it's just a company, if you don't have that, then you don't really have a market. You just have people trading money around in the form of cards. I ask about it because it's just an interesting dynamic that wasn't in place a number of years ago. And the other day I had a Koi Parrish auto sell on eBay, and I was like $80 too high on the price. I had priced it when I had pulled it, and then I never went back and it never sold. And I was like, oh, I should adjust that. And then I never got around to it. And then somebody bought it for the price that was $80 too high from the last comp. But then as I'm talking to the person, because we had a little snafu with the post office, not on my end, on the post office end, his son had played with him in high school, and just his son wanted the card. He didn't look up the price to see if there was a better priced one. He saw that card. He wanted it. He bought it. He didn't care less. He's not a card collector. Just wanted an autographed card of a kid he played sports with, right? And I wonder if, a lot of people are upset about, maybe not upset, but they get a little dejected. I don't know what word I'm looking for. When you go into what you're thinking is a sports card show and it ends up being 50% Pokemon, you don't know anything about Pokemon. But if you're setting up at that show and you get those people that like Pokemon, only know Pokemon, don't know sports cards, and you get maybe 2-3 people, a show to be like, hey, I like Pokemon cards, and also I like the Bulls. And you start going around, and maybe you make a sale on a card that you weren't expecting to sell to somebody who doesn't know anything about cards but likes cards, and then you get some sports card collectors that way. So it's just it's always fascinating to me to see why people buy cards and what is happening in the market, and kind of like, I think this could be the way it goes, and I guess I'm okay with it. It's just a little bit obnoxious when I go to a sports card show and I'm looking for baseball and like 10% of the tables have it.
It is very jarring the first time you see it, right? The first show when I went to the first show and I seen how many Pokemon cards was, and I was like, that's a lot of Pokemon, but okay. But then when you step back and you think about it and you give it some thought and you look at it, I still bought every card I wanted to buy from a sports card dealer at every show I go to. I think baseball is the constant driving force of the hobby. I think baseball cards itself if that market wanes, everything, the house of cards falls.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what, in my opinion, prospecting is what this all stems from a money making standpoint. But for some reason, I feel like selling baseball cards are more of an online thing than actual it being in show thing for me, because the baseball tables don't get a lot of traffic, and they're not, and everybody's looking for the shiny kabooms and color blasts and like that are popular in football and basketball, but not as popular in baseball. Like, my favorite baseball insert is Unleashed. 2020 Unleashed is my favorite insert.
Okay.
From Panini. I think it looks amazing.
There are two things thing that happened, and probably not a lot of people talk about it. I believe that there's every day that goes by, there's less of a need to go to a show.
He does. I
Less
disagree.
of a
Just because
need.
of how many avenues you have for
Yes.
acquiring cards.
So back in the day when I was a kid, we only had a house telephone. So you had to call me at the house. Now I can have 7 emails. I can have WhatsApp. There's a lot of ways to talk to someone. There's a lot of ways to communicate and purchase cards without ever going to a show. You could build an excellent collection without ever being in a show. You can buy and sell for a living without really setting up at a show.
It's true.
You can.
And
I
I
disagree with that.
we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I also think that I am shocked, and I'm not calling anyone out. Big John and I talk about this all the time. I am just shocked when you ask me like why you want to start, like why you want to do content and why you want to do podcasts. I am always blown away that we walk in the show and we're looking at sports cards, and not too many people in that show watch sports. It just blows me away. Like we can be on here and talk to you about baseball.
Mhm.
You're collecting baseball. You're buying baseball. You watch baseball. You have even played baseball. You are a very small percentage of people in the hobby. You'll see somebody at a table, man. You'll walk up and somebody has $60,000 Mac Jones card back in the day. First question I'm gonna ask them: have you watched him play?
And no, it's just hype.
Is this hype, man? That train is coming, choo choo. That train is coming down the tracks. The person that's selling the card for the 5-figure amount doesn't know anything about this dude as quarterback.
And I feel like it's just hype with it. Big John brought up the case hits.
Yeah.
I can't say who told me this, and I can't say which shop they were connected to. It was my Slab Stocks days when I heard this. They had told me that kabooms, zebra stripes, tiger stripes, that type of stuff, non-numbered SSPs, not as rare as you think, because Panini would get the damage replacements and then backdoor them to their favorite shops.
Speak on it. Now, Big John know how I feel about these case hits and these short prints. I hate this. I don't know what that is. What is that?
So you like this, Nick? I seen it today. Do you know Cosmic, Topps Cosmic, right?
Yep.
The Neptune insert.
Looking at a couple cases right here.
The Neptune insert is twice as rare from the odds as any Kaboom or Color Blast case hit out of any other sport.
And yet it's a fraction of the price.
It's a fraction of the price. Even if it's Shohei Ohtani, it's a fraction of the price.
That's hobby logic right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And again, it just comes down to hype. And that's kind of why, I spent a number of years just buying. I like buying boxes. I like ripping my own boxes. It's funny to say because I work for a card shop on Fanatics Live for a living, ripping boxes for other people and ripping case breaks. But my preference is to buy my own boxes and rip them. And I don't buy them expecting to make my money back anymore. It's just a fun thing I enjoy doing. And I would buy, I would have card money. I'd sell cards. I'd buy into Topps 5-star or Topps Tribute or something. Those museum collection, those random ones for baseball. Museum collection is actually very good for soccer, so I won't poo-poo it there. But like you hit something really nice and it still doesn't go for a lot. And then you have Bowman Chrome and Bowman Autos that just knock the socks off of people. And it's just like, all right, there's really no point for me unless if I'm wanting to have fun or just want stuff for my personal collection. Like I've got some nice museum collection patches of the Brewers and stuff. But if I'm looking to make money, there is no need for me to go anywhere else but Bowman.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has the history, but it also has the hype. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that will be interesting to see is obviously Panini case hits have the hype. They don't have the history. And with Panini pretty much being done now, going into next year for football, will the hype last? Will people care that you have a 2025 Panini Uptown or whatever they call it now, the secondary thing? Will they care about that, or will they have moved on to other things?
Well, if basketball is in any thing to look at, any prediction, they won't care because you have third-year Wemby stuff selling for more than Kabooms and rookie year stuff.
Yeah.
Now that it's now licensed with Topps. So it's very interesting. But I have two questions for you. One, why do you think breaking is good for the hobby? Then you break on Fanatics Live, and how's that going? And two, I know FD is doing a lot of research on a good Otani, a good high mid end or high end Otani. What brand to Dynasty to Museum Collection would you tell him to look into?
Okay, well, let's answer the first one. Breaking.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good for getting more cards out to the public for people to buy.
Okay.
That much I know happens because people rip a lot more product being able to buy into 100, 150, 50, $25 spots, and boxes get opened and those cards get out onto eBay and you can buy the cards you want. That I know happens. I think that's good. There is a good amount of things I do not think is good for the hobby. I know it's my job, and I'm going to be very careful of what I say here because I don't want to get in trouble there.
We won't get in any trouble.
I will say that there are a lot of bad actors.
Yeah.
There are people that get fake excited for $5, $10, $15 hits. There is obviously all of the whatnot scandals of people pack slipping and stuff like this where they're stealing product. All bad for the hobby, right? There's the gambling aspect where people come in and they don't have the money and they spend it anyways. You can do that on boxes of cards, obviously, but it's way easier when it's at your fingertips on an app and it's not a $400 box. It's a $50 spot.
For that last point there, if you're over 18, that is your own personal responsibility.
It is.
That is not on a breaker or a platform. That is your own personal responsibility.
Right? It is.
I will say that 100%. It happens that people gamble their money away, but people gamble their money away on scratch offs. People gamble their money away at the casino or illegal dice games or or sports books. So if you're gambling on breaking, personal responsibility.
It's true. It's true. And I will generally ask people if it seems like they're overextending a little bit more. I double check with them, let them think about it for a few minutes before they decide I'm, buying another spot. Because sometimes you just need a friend to be like, hey, are you sure? You get caught up in the moment. Are you sure? And they take a moment and they're like, you're right. I'm not sure. And I think if you are ripping like I am for people, and I rip for Brewtown Trading Co. In Milwaukee, for those of you wondering. If you're ripping like I am for people, I think you at least owe them the decency of not just trying to take their money.
Agreed.
Make sure that they actually want to spend it. If they, sometimes you just come in and buy a spot. Okay, on your way. But if there seems like somebody who's like trying to talk themselves into it on the comments, I'm going to try to talk them out of it. And I know that doesn't make much sense from a sales standpoint because I should be trying to sell stuff, but I also want to feel good about myself when I get done with the work day. And I'm not going to feel good about myself if I talk somebody into spending $100 that they didn't want to spend.
No, that is ethical. So I'm a salesman. That's my day to day. Right. And I do the same thing at work, right? What's your budget? Do you really want this? I don't want to make you feel, I don't want anybody to leave feeling like I talked them into it. I coerced them into buying something. So I agree with you on that, right? It is your decision, but I don't want you to come back saying, no, you talked me into buying this spot. You said I was going to. No. It's like, so I agree there. That's just that's called an ethical person and a person with a conscience and is doing things for the right reason.
Appreciate that.
Mhm.
And then for the second question, so if you're looking for an Otani, there's certain ones that I probably wouldn't touch. They'll be expensive, don't get me wrong. You know, but like Inception, you know, Topps 5-star stuff like that, I don't really think they'll be expensive, especially if you're getting rookie, second year auto, stuff like that. If I was buying an Otani, I would be looking at one of a few things. If I can't afford Bowman Chrome autos, I'm going Topps Chrome. If I can't afford Topps Chrome, then I'm probably looking for a Topps Chrome image variation. Depending on the year, you know, it has to be something that looks good, but there's various image variations that look really good, and I think those will hold value long term. And if those are out of my price range, you know, John talked about Topps Chrome Cosmic, something like that, which is in its infancy, but people seem to love it a lot, and I could see it being a huge brand in 20 years. I might not understand Topps Chrome Cosmic a ton right now with the lack of autos and the price of boxes, but if people, I mean, I'm not the market, right? The market's the market, and the market says, hey, we love Topps Chrome Cosmic. I see it every year. I put up cases, they sell out. And so, you know, maybe a something like that. If I can't afford Bowman Chrome, I can't afford Topps Chrome autos, I can't afford like a Topps Chrome short print, then, you know, a Planetary Pursuit or something of that ilk for a lower tier product like a Topps Chrome Cosmic would be where I'd go. The things I probably wouldn't touch outside of your Inceptions, your 5-stars, you know, I held up this Red Wave. It's cool, right? It's out of 5. It's fun. It's no different than the base card. It's just a different color. In 20 years, is somebody going to really care about, say you can't afford a rookie, but maybe you have a second year green? Is somebody really going to care about a Otani out of 99? No auto, nothing really special about it outside the fact that it's 99. I don't think so. So I'd probably stay away from that. And Denumber Chaser says Dynasty, and that is a good call out. The Dynasties, Gilded, people love Gilded. Those are good ones too. But some of the other ones, you know, Topps Tribute. So that's where I would go. I would just start going down the spectrum, and if I hit the very end of the spectrum of sets that I like, I don't know. I think I would move on to a different player instead of buying something, you know, that more common.
You know what's a brand that I'm starting to like a lot more as I research Otani cards? High Tech.
Oh man, I forgot about High Tech.
We've went through Comedy and seen some of the different parallels and different stuff. I just like how that image is really different from all the images on this rookie card, and I like the little lasers and the patterns in the back. I've bought one at the show. I've sold it, you know, made some, but as I research more on those, I just really like the weird design of those.
Yeah.
And
the
again,
clear acetate finish.
It's not super expensive. It's not cheap, but it's also not super expensive. So
yeah, they did High Tech for Stranger Things this year, and seems like that was pretty popular. I didn't get any. I didn't look at. I didn't get to open any, but it seemed cool. I'm just gonna say, Gerald says, when you're a breaker, you are a salesperson. Make the sale. And while I understand that motto,
I mean,
and I
everything
get
has
I get paid for it. But at the end of the day, if I'm selling my soul to make a sale, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
No job is worth me feeling bad about what I've done that day. So you know, so I understand it. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I understand. As a salesperson, I go through this every day, and while I would like, listen, this may not be. I know you want this computer, but you may want to go to this cheaper one that's in your budget if you want everything that you want, right? This chair, you may want to get this chair instead if you want to get everything you want, and not blow your whole budget. That's up to you though. But this is where I'm going to recommend something that may fit in, be just as good and where you want to spend.
Yep, I agree.
Oh, so we
Well,
talk
thank
about
you for
rating.
that. Nate, thank you for that information. What do you think of Topps Now product in general? Baseball, football, whatever it may be. What do you think?
FD, you trying to get me in trouble?
Well, strike the question. Strike the question. Don't even worry about it.
No. You're
I
good.
have a better question.
I'll say real quick. There are times where I like it. There are times where I think if it's a big moment, Ohtani, 50-50, right? Stuff like that. A really big moment. Sweet. In Olympics, gold medal, where it only happens once every 4 years. Sweet. I don't need a Topps Now card for some dude's 10 strikeout debut or hitting 3 home runs in a game, or it seems like there's Topps Now cards for literally everything.
I
And
woke up this morning, Topps Now.
yeah, and it's like I guess I don't need it, but also if there are people buying it, then who am I to tell them not to buy it, right? If that's what they want,
Yep.
then that's what they want, and that's fine. You spend your money how you see fit, and so it's not necessary. Most of it, 90% of Topps Now cards, not for me, but clearly they have people buying them, and clearly there are people that I don't. Maybe it's just the gambling of trying to get a short print or trying to get that 101 auto, but there's definitely people that are just people that will buy Topps Now Brewers cards just because the Brewers and they want all the Topps Now Brewers moments.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, more power to you.
True.
I got a question because I am in the camp that when we talk about greatness, right? And it's also debating on greatness. I think Ohtani is the best current day player by far.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, I believe that Mookie Betts is and always has been a better baseball player than Mike Trout. And take World Series out of it, I think he's more talented and a better baseball player than Mike Trout has ever been. I think with Mike Trout, because he was number one, part of
the problem with me trying to rebuttal this is that it's been a few years since we watched, like, it's what have you done for me now lately, right? Or what have you done for me lately, league? And Mookie Betts has done a lot more for me lately than Trout has, because he has been injured rather consistently for 4 years.
I'm talking about before Trout was injury prone. I'm talking about Mookie was on the Red Sox. He was still a better baseball player than Mike Trout, in my opinion.
So Mike Trout was unbelievable defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Still hitting around 300, getting on base 400, slugging high 500s, very close to, if not past 1,000 plus OPS, plenty of years, stealing bags. There is a reason why he was on pace. Now you can say what you want about Baseball Reference or Fangraphs wins above replacement. Mm-hmm. Not a perfect stat. It gives you a picture. It gives you a picture of how a player is doing, and it gives you a picture of how other players did compared to their era. There's a reason Mike Trout was on pace to be a top 5 player of all time.
Yeah.
By WAR.
Yeah.
And I love Mookie Betts. He was not on the same pace as Trout. And Trout came up he put up 1,000+ OPS in like a 10-win season as a 20-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's easy. It's easy to kind of look back because of the last couple of years and say, was he really that good? And also there's a good amount of value built into defense that, not to say Mookie wasn't a good defender. He is. But Trout was doing things that from a wins above replacement standpoint, that we'd like never seen.
No, I totally get that, and I'm not even trying to change your opinion on this.
Yeah,
this is solely my opinion. When I watch ball, when I see Mookie Betts play shortstop, the most valuable position, then go play right and throw one of the fastest players out from the warning track at third base on a consistent basis. Then I see him go play second base, and he's still hitting 280, still driving in 100 runs, still hitting 30 to 40 home runs. And his prime, is, to me, Mike Trout came in with a lot of hype, being the number one, and he proved the hype was worthy early in his career.
Mm-hmm.
But his prime was early in his career, while Mookie had less hype, got better and better, and his prime is going to be longer than what Trout's was. And I just think from a baseball talent, when I watch them play, I wholeheartedly believe Mookie Betts is way more talented at baseball than Mike Trout.
I will say, I do think Mookie Betts is way more talented.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily. I guess you could say baseball from he can defend multiple positions. Mike Trout is solely a center fielder / corner outfielder if he needs to be. And Mookie can dunk. He's like 5'9", 5'8". He can dunk. He can dunk. He bowls. He 300 bowler and golfer. Like, the dude is an absurd athlete.
Oh, he's an amazing athlete. Just
absurd. That being said, and take a quick look at Mike Trout, and he's digressed, but he was in the same league as Mookie starting in 2014. In 2014, he led the league in wins above replacement. 2015, he led the league in wins above replacement. 2016, he led the league in wins above replacement. 2017, he was 0.4 wins above replacement better. 2018, he was 0.8 worse. Like, what I'm trying to say is he is the same. He's 1 year older, and he has not been nearly as good the last couple of years. But Mookie's is trending down a little bit the last couple of years as well.
That's why I said take championships out of it, because he's on a Dodgers with Ohtani.
And I just think we watched Trout come in, and at a young age, 963 OPS, 20 years old, 988 OPS, 21 years old, 939, 991, 991, 1071, 1088, 1083, 993, 1090, 999 before he finally had an OPS under 900 as a 31-year-old in 2023. Like, super consistent. Mookie has been great, and Mookie is very good, but he had 812, 820, 897, 803. He's had one season with 1,000+ OPS, 915, 927, then 800s, 987, 800 more, and then 700. And the ability to play different positions is super valuable. His leadership, super valuable. He has led multiple different teams to World Series championships, right? Valuable. But Mike Trout was consistently a high 900s. Like, for his 15-year career, he's a 976 OPS. Mookie is an 881. the difference between a 970 OPS and an 881 OPS guy, you're probably looking at, I don't really have a good names off the top of my head, but that's a significant player difference there.
I agree with all your stats, and the stats say Mike Trout's better. It's not going to change my opinion. I'm not trying to change yours.
Yeah,
and I hate WAR as a stat because to me, it's not. I don't think WAR is about an individual player in baseball because baseball is an individual. It's not a game where if I score 50, we should win because if you're telling me Mike Trout's WAR is so high, how come his team sucks so bad? When he had Ohtani, right? If you're telling me he's so good that they would have won, if he doesn't play, they're gonna lose 20 more games. That's that to me is a stat that reflects on GM and team building more than individual player, in my opinion.
Well, so the lack of wins with, I mean, you wouldn't argue that Ohtani's not the greatest player we've ever witnessed in our entire lives, right?
I would argue. I've seen Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds. But Barry Bonds.
I wouldn't disagree. But I would make an argument. We had to debate
it. Barry Bonds. I mean, he had a 600 on base percentage 1 year, right? He was so feared. The teams were just intentionally walking him consistently, where he got on base 60% of the time in a season. That's insane. Barry Bonds, however, does not pitch. Did not, and once he started getting a little bit bigger there, steroids or not, he wasn't stealing. He wasn't stealing 50, 60 bases, right? Like Ohtani. But Barry Bonds is, however, the greatest hitter I've ever watched in my entire life and will be until the day I die, I'm pretty sure. But maybe not the greatest. I think Ohtani probably has him as a all-around player.
The Ohtani, Barry Bonds, who the greatest player we've ever seen, is similar to the Jerry Rice, Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
Who's the greatest football player you ever seen play? A lot of people will say Jerry Rice. Some people will say Tom Brady because Jerry Rice wasn't a quarterback. Barry doesn't pitch.
I saw a thing the other day that Jerry Rice, the second most receiving yards by over 40-year-old in NFL history, total is like 8.
Yeah, and people thought when he left Montana, he was done.
Yeah, and Jerry Rice had 2,500 receiving yards as a 40-year-old. 2,500 receiving yards. There's dude. Matthew Golden was a first-round pick this year for the Packers. He had 300-something receiving yards as a 22-year-old.
Luther Burden had 567. First-round pick.
Yeah, and it the fact that he was that good that late into his career, and I had ESPN 2K5.
Loved on the Dreamcast?
What?
On the Dreamcast?
On PlayStation 2.
Okay.
ESPN 2K5, the best football game ever created, for my money. And I used to play with the Raiders all the time because they had Rich Gannon, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice. And even when Jerry Rice was 39 years old or something in that game, 40 years old, and Tim Brown was 36, they were unstoppable. And I know it's a video game, but the fact that you can have a wide receiver, and especially Devontae Adams, I feel like is breaking the mold kind of as well because he's 33 and still successful. How many 33-year-old wide receivers you see these days that are still successful at this point in their career, that are getting touchdowns, that are getting yards? Almost nobody. And there might be guys that are playing at 33. Adam Thielen is 35, I think. But they're not putting up stats generally. Wes Welker, Jordy Nelson, Tyreek Hill is trending down. Is he even 30 yet?
Isn't it amazing that we're in a new age of football where passing is king and all the rules are to benefit passing. Yet you have rookies and you have some at least 1,000-yard receivers.
Yep. And that's the point I was trying to get to is you have all of these guys that can't really play past 33 in a modern NFL that is made for passing. Ticky-tack defensive calls and everything that is made so that passing exists.
Or you got to actually do their work.
What?
Are they putting in the kind of work that these?
Well,
they don't put that work in.
Probably not. Yeah. You can tell the guys that do.
Yeah.
You know, Devontae Adams, since we already brought him up.
Devontae Adams just derailed his career chasing Aaron Rodgers around. So
it's true. If
he threw his stuff in the trash can doing that.
And yet he's still going to end up, if he plays like 2 more years, he still will end up with 1,500 or 15,000 yards, you know, but what could have happened?
He'd be a Hall of Famer. He will be ringless unless he stumbles into something.
Yeah. But, you know, that is today. Jerry Rice did put up all his numbers in a running NFL with cornerbacks that could, you know, blanket you all the way down the field with nothing called against them.
They said it was Joe Montana. They said it was a Bill Walsh offense. They said a lot, but this dude just kept doing his thing. 22,285 receiving yards, 202 touchdowns.
Who's second on that list?
Oh, it has to be T.O. or Randy Moss.
And Randy Moss is probably what, 4,000 yards behind?
Yeah, something like that. Yep. Do you remember when Antonio Brown was halfway there?
Oh, my goodness.
They got derailed.
Randy Moss finished with 15,292 yards.
And how many did T.O. have? Then you got Larry Fitzgerald. How many did T.O. have?
Let's see here. T.O. had 15,934, so a little bit more than, but not by much. And Larry,
14.
I should have just 17,492. So Larry Fitzgerald's like the closest.
Those 4 guys. The people were talking about Cooper Kupp a couple years ago. Please. Yeah. You got to do that thing for over 10 years, bro. Please start talking about that guy.
I mean, Larry Fitzgerald, 17-year career, 17,492 yards. That means you have to hit 1,000 yards per year every year, and he did not have the benefit of 17-game seasons.
That's right. These guys are ballers, man. They're just built differently. Yeah. That's working every day. That's keeping your diet right all the time. That's working out. Jerry Rice in his autobiography that I read, he didn't skip anything. If his kid had a recital on a training day, you know I'm not going to be there.
That's crazy. And longevity, look at LeBron. It's well known that LeBron spends $1 million a year on his body.
What's in that million? You know, we talk about this all the time. I call LeBron Mr. Allegedly and respectfully. What's in that million?
You telling me LeBron's a little bit of a overstater?
Yeah. I mean, he wants to talk about how he does cryo, how he eats that granola before the game. He can tell you what else he's doing. Allegedly and respectfully.
But you can't. You spend $1 million, but you can't play 2 games. You can't even play 75 games here.
You think
play back to back?
We talking about injury.
Well, that's the modern NBA though, right? You know, the modern NBA. I have a buddy who's a teacher, not part of NBA at all. He was just asking me my opinion today because he's got boys in his classroom that they'll do like push-ups and calisthenics in between classes, try to get them moving a little bit. The boys complain about push-ups. They can't do 5th, 6th grade boys. They can't do the regular push-ups. They got to do the on your knees push-ups. They complain about it. And it's like, you know, obviously 5th and 6th graders are not the same generation as LeBron or anything, or any of these new basketball players, but it seems like it's getting worse and worse as we go on, where in 15 years, when these 5th and 6th graders are now 26-year-olds or whatever, are they going to play 50 games? You know, because they I don't know. I'm sounding like an old man right now.
Sound like us.
You're speaking nothing but facts to me.
But it just seems kind of crazy that there's and the Pfizer Forum opened up in Milwaukee. I used to be able to get to Bucks games for $10. Bradley Center, dirt cheap. Even with Giannis, Jabari Parker, you know, dirt cheap games. Pfizer Forum opens up. I work nights. I can't get to weekday games where they'd be a little bit cheaper. And the back row nosebleeds on the weekend, $80, $90 a ticket. Every ticket, no matter what, that's the cheapest ticket to get into the door. I go to a game, Giannis ain't playing, and I'm sitting here watching some, you know, Brooke Lopez and Drew Holiday try to beat up on whoever. It's like, I didn't pay $80 to do that. I pay $80 to see Giannis play. That's all I'm going for. I want to see Giannis in the flesh. If I go to a baseball game and I'm going to see the Angels, I had an invite to the Angels Seattle from a buddy I know from my Slab Stocks days, and he invited me 17 rows behind third base. Ohtani and Trout injured. I didn't go to the game, right? I wanted to see Ohtani and Trout play. I didn't get the opportunity to. And it's like, you spend so much, and injuries you can't do anything about. But especially in the NFL, shout out NFL, guys don't take weeks off unless it's the end of the season.
Yes.
NBA and a little bit MLB, you might go to a game and spend $80 and miss your favorite player play, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. And it's pretty lame. It's pretty lame.
So I think the difference with MLB players getting an off day is that routinely MLB players would play 11 games in 14 days.
Yeah.
Right. So one of them days in them 11, you get an off day.
Yeah. The Brewers had a stretch of 19 games in like 18 days this past.
Yeah.
You know,
crazy. Had a double header.
Yep.
Before we get you out here, who you got for the Super Bowl, and what's the atmosphere in Washington like? Now that Seattle's in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so I live on the other side of the state, so it's a little bit unfair because they're not huge sports fans out here. I know some Seahawks fans, but most of them I don't see Seahawks gear around. I don't see people wearing Seahawks gear. I don't see people wearing Kraken gear. I don't see people wearing MLS gear. I don't see people really wearing Mariners gear. I see that in Seattle when I go over there. But there are quite a few Seahawks fans I know, also doubled as Mariners fans, that didn't expect this to happen, didn't expect Sam Darnold to be this good. And even when they made the playoffs with like a 14-3 record or whatever they were, maybe not 14-3, that was the Patriots. I don't know what the Seahawks record was. They were just expecting Sam Darnold to fail. And now it looks like it should be a pretty easy Super Bowl. The AFC side did not look anywhere near as good as the NFC side. And they're still expecting no good things to happen to them because that's what Seattle fans have grown to expect with the Mariners and the Seahawks and the Sonics leaving town. So I think people are excited, but I also think people are probably cautiously pessimistic.
Well, I think they're about to be happy because I think Seattle runs away with the Super Bowl.
That's what I was telling a couple buddies today. I was like, I think you win by at least 2 scores.
So you said 2. I respect that. I told Big Jon 21 points. So somewhere in between there, this game is not going to be close.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I don't think the Patriots are maybe I'm just being foolish. I don't think they're that good.
I think all comparisons between Drake May and Tom Brady end on Sunday. That Super Bowl Sunday is over with. Nobody ever make those statements again.
I think they win. I think the Patriots win. And I think if they lose, at worst for Drake May's car market, he's Joe Burrow.
Wait, what was that?
I said, I think that the Patriots win.
Okay.
But if they lose, at worst for his card market, he's Joe Burrow. He's what Joe Burrow cards are.
I can see that.
I don't think they tank and they drop that far. Because look at Joe Burrow after he lost the Super Bowl his second year. His cards dipped, but not super far down. Not to CJ Stroud levels.
I don't think they would tank either because you're talking about a dude who is in his second year. Like the excitement's still going to be there. They're a young team. People will expect him to be back. What I'll say about that is people thought the Lions would, be contending for a Super Bowl one of these years, and now they missed the playoffs entirely. So you never know, even with a young team.
I don't know though. Can you have a whole career throwing 5-yard passes? Let's ask ourselves some real questions, people.
He doesn't throw 5-yard passes.
He throws 5-yard passes, bro. He had games averaging 4.1 yards per pass play.
I mean, it's not ideal.
It's not gonna happen. Once we watch enough tape on this, just watch what Drake May does next year and the week after. Remember, people were talking about C.J. Stroud. He had his best year ever in his career, his rookie season.
Yeah, now he's atrocious.
I think you know what the guy's going to do and what he's not going to do.
Do you think that's coaching though?
No, I think the only way we know about Drake May is that Vrabel said you're going to run this type of offense. If he came out taking a snap, stepping back, and trying to throw the ball down the field, nobody's talking about him.
So
Well, I think Vrabel's a great coach.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he knows his personnel. He knows what this dude can throw.
But he knows time management, and he's done some tricky time things to get wins when having a bad quarterback.
Yeah. Imagine being the
Drake May
Titans.
is long gone. Vrabel will still be coach.
Yeah. Imagine being the Titans and letting him walk out the door when he clearly was not the issue.
Who's worse? Who's feeling worse? What fan base? The Titans or the Vikings?
Well, not just the Titans and the Vikings. The Atlanta Falcons interviewed both Super Bowl coaches for jobs. They both went someplace else.
I will say this. I had a buddy, a Vikings fan. Everson Griffin gets a sack. We're watching the game together. He yells out, Jared Allen. I don't know about you, but Jared Allen and Everson Griffin, not the same person, not even the same skin color.
Not at all.
No.
And he yelled out Jared Allen. And that is what I think of. And the other thing I think of, I knew a lot of Vikings fans because I lived in northern Wisconsin for a while. They like when the Packers lose more than the Vikings win. Vikings win, Packers lose, ecstatic. So you'll never hear me compliment. I do have Viking friends that I like, but by and large, Viking fans are the worst. So I will give the shout out to Titans. They got to be better than that.
I'm just trying to figure out how you get paid for a living to assess talent, and you thought J.J. McCarthy was going to play for the quarterback in the NFL.
I want to figure out. I mean, right? He handed the ball off 70% of the time at Michigan.
Yeah, oh yes. And then Harbaugh comes out and says, "Man, this dude had the best combine I've ever seen." You know he's blowing smoke, and then he bounces on controversy and leaves my man at Michigan who tears it all up. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing watching Sam Darnold leave. Them being like J.J. McCarthy's the guy. Their coach. Why can't I think of his name right now?
I can't think of his
McDonald.
name.
Is McDonald or something?
That's Seahawks. Kevin.
McDonald?
No, Minnesota's coach.
Kevin.
Google search it, people.
Oh yeah, I guess I got Google. Like Kevin O'Connell.
There you go.
He's a quarterback whisperer. He can fix anybody. He fixed Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's not that good, right? So let's go with J.J. McCarthy. But then Sam Darnold actually is good, and he's leading his team to the Super Bowl, at least decent enough to lead his team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he won 14 games for the Vikings. Why would you think this dude has no game?
Yeah, and J.J. McCarthy, they did go 9-7, but it was not because of J.J. McCarthy that they were winning those games. It was because of Brian Flores and their defense.
One more season of this, and Justin Jefferson fall down that all-time list you just named.
How can you be that bad at quarterback with Justin Jefferson as your number one receiver?
Yeah, because you cannot throw the rock, man.
And Jordan Addison.
Mm-hmm.
And a good pass-catching tight end in Kyle Rudolph, and a good pass-catching running back in Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm. But you got all this eye black on.
Yeah.
You're going to war every week.
And you got an alter ego 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're screaming and hollering all the time.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I love it. I wish Caleb Williams was just as bad, but I'll take one for 2.
I said Jim Miller as a quarterback. Leave us alone. Let us get somewhat decent, okay?
Hey, do you think next year is the year? Is next year the year that a Bears quarterback finally breaks 4,000 yards passing in a season?
Nope.
Williams had 17 weeks and couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's my favorite stat of all time is that the Bears, in their 1 million years of being an NFL franchise, have 0 4,000-yard passers. Meanwhile, the Packers have Lynn Dickey, Brett Favre, Don the Magic Man, Aaron Rodgers, soon to be Jordan Love. Or did Jordan Love do it in his first year?
He was close this year, but honestly, the only way he gets to 4,000 yards.
Jordan Love has done it. Sorry, Jordan Love has done it.
Yeah, only way he gets to 4,000 yards is if he can actually do a freaking play fake. His play, have you seen his play fake? It is just wide out there. It's not tucked. You're not. The camera's not even full.
That's coaching. A man is standing over there seeing this.
That is the only way he gets to 4,000 yards because they can run the ball effectively. But his play fake is atrocious. I have not seen one linebacker fooled by his play fake. Right? I've not seen one safety step up an extra step or hesitate to go back because of a play action pass.
I bet you his head coach haircut is
his head coach has had great play designs to get people wide open. He's held the ball for 15 seconds and ran around in the back.
Not a hair out of place. His head coach doesn't have a hair out of place.
Yeah, too many
every week.
Too many pretty boy coaches in the NFL. You got to get back.
Look how Shanahan has aged. Have y'all seen this guy?
I saw a picture of him the other day. I couldn't believe it was Kyle Shanahan.
Right. I don't know what habits he has. But I don't know what he has done.
Because he looked way older, correct?
Yeah.
The last
bags under his eyes.
Yeah. And then the head coach is stressful.
I don't know if it's this stressful, Big Jon.
It's true.
If it is, he needs to find something else to do with himself.
I mean, everybody can't look as good as Mike Tomlin, you know.
Can't believe Mike Tomlin and Harbaugh both off their teams.
So
what a wild world.
I predicted it week 17. I said the losers gets fired on Monday, and then the winner gets fired the next Monday when they lose in the playoffs.
Yep. And now they brought in Mike McCarthy.
The dumbest thing ever.
So he won't be there long. He's talking about he wants Aaron Rodgers back.
So
look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. What happened to this guy?
What year is the first picture from? Does it say?
Oh, that's his first year coach. 9 seasons, 9 years ago.
Oh my goodness!
Look at this guy.
Oh my goodness!
I noticed this like 3 weeks before the season ended. I was like, has dude been in an accident or something? Something happened to him?
That's what having to deal with Brandon Ayuk will do to you.
The dumbest person in sports.
How can you? I get that playing football is not everyone's love, even if they're good at it. But you're making so much money to play a game that so many people would love to do, and you're just gonna walk away at the age of like 25.
But Nate,
How do you forfeit all that money?
I tell Big Jon this all the time. A lot of these young ladies and guys, they don't want to play their sport. That's a place where they get paid. They do not want to have anything to do with it. So if any bump in the road comes and they don't know how to overcome that, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, it's
players almost every year. I'm out.
It's not like you have to love it, right? Like there's plenty of guys who you play baseball because you're blessed by God with a fastball that can touch 100, not because you like 100, not because you like it. And
but it becomes a job.
But if you already have the contract, wouldn't you just stick it out? You know, maybe it's easy for me to say because I'm not a millionaire and I don't have millions in the bank that I can just fall back on. But I felt like if I had a contract where I'm getting money, I would just stick it out for another year or two.
When you held out for that contract, you did Ben Simmons it, right? Finish out the last contract and go fishing with a couple $100 million in your bank account and not have to worry. How do you hold out for more money, get money, and then forfeit it because you don't want to go to rehab? You don't want to go to just go see the trainer. That is
crazy.
Money for.
Look at Deion's fines at Colorado. When I play, going to see the trainer. Most players are not interested in that at all. And they would rather do anything on earth than to go see that trainer.
Maybe it's because most men don't like going to the doctor at all.
I don't know. I think it's another place you got to get on time.
I ain't paying that.
The trainer can be painful. You got a hamstring pull, you got certain things going on, it's going to be painful to that.
And especially if you're like Tyrod Taylor, who got his lung popped by the trainer.
Yeah. Didn't that happen to TJ Watt?
That happened to
I think it did.
I think so.
You're talking about a guy whose career is over. You watch that dude play?
TJ Watt?
Yeah, it's over.
I don't know. I feel like there will be plenty of teams that will be willing to give him a shot.
Oh, they will. But he's not doing anything. He's not putting up any numbers. He's not doing anything. He's just out there. He's a decoy right now.
Yeah. And
I agree with Zerny.
Back in the day.
Zerny. Yeah, that's true. If it's just a job that pays big money and you don't care about it.
But you can drive that whip, though. You can have that house.
Yeah.
Money don't last forever. I feel like running. And a lot of people will tell you, there was some guys in the NBA that said they retired because they didn't want to eat right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could see that. Like offensive linemen. I read a story one time about Joe Thomas. Now, this isn't the NBA, but Thon Maker, when they were trying to put weight on him, had to eat 7,000 calories a day.
That's a lot, guys.
Insane. And Joe Thomas, when he was in high school to put on weight to be an offensive lineman, next level, would have a loaf of white bread, a jar of peanut butter, and a gallon of whole milk at the school. And between every class, he'd have a peanut butter sandwich and a glass of whole milk between every single class all day long, every single day at school, to be able to put on enough weight to play offensive lineman. It's like, if that's what you have to do, you're never eating for fun. Like, I love eating for fun. I brought up barbecue before. Like, eating for fun is amazing. Cooking's amazing. And doing what they have to do takes all the joy out of it.
So, a question to talk about food. Did you get a Blackstone yet? I
have not. Yes, I know. We've talked about it multiple times, John. I have a grill. I have a smoker.
Yeah.
I have a pizza oven, an outdoor pizza oven. It's like,
so you see one thing left to make it all fit. Get the family.
But I don't know if I'm going to use it enough.
I didn't do that. Oh, hey, I'm an advocate. I want a smoker. I don't know if I'm gonna use a smoker enough, but I want one, so I can smoke some. Because I love barbecuing.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Any chance I get to go make tacos, burgers on my griddle instead of in the kitchen, I use. It is by far the best thing I've purchased in a few years. I love that thing. I would say, like, if you cook in your kitchen, right, you gotta have different skillets and pots and pans to do your whole meal on one thing in one shot.
Oh, that's true. That would be nice.
You do just think of how your whole meal, veggies and meat in one shot. Like,
you're smart here, John. You're hitting me where in the spot that I need to be hit, and that is the cleaning up part.
Right. 5 minutes cleanup. 5 minute cleanup all in one spot.
That would be nice. I do want to do that. Speaking of smokers, John, I got just the smallest Traeger because I don't want to mess with having to light my own wood chunks and do all that stuff. and it's great. It's easy. It's not big. This weekend, my daughter turns 1 on Thursday, and we're having a party on Saturday to celebrate. And I sold some cards so I could afford to feed everyone. There's going to be like 50 people there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm making pork belly burn ends.
Ooh.
I'm making pulled pork, and I'll probably smoke some chicken thighs. And then hot dogs for the kids. Not going to smoke those. And it's going to be awesome. It's super fun to just be able to like do that type of stuff.
Yes.
And try out different things. And I'm just going to have to figure out my timing because I can't possibly fit all of that on the smoker at the same time.
That sounds good. I hope she has an enjoyable party and have fun and don't cry too much because it get scared for anything. Again, I got 10 inches of snow outside, and I promise you, with the Royal Rumble this Saturday, if I can clear off enough space, I will go cook on that thing in the snow.
FD, you got snow by you?
Oh no, sir. I'm in LA. No, sir.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no snow in here in Spokane either. Green grass.
Yeah.
40.
What I did enjoy is on Instagram, people were acting like they were on the Antarctic Circle because some snow dropped. Not in Connecticut, Big Jon, because you get snow. I'm talking about in some of these areas that
in
really,
the South.
Yeah, people
where
are
it's like an inch of
around.
snow and people are dying.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
I went to school in South Carolina. I'm telling you, the South they're not equipped. Dealing with snow is not in the state's budget at all. So to them, it is Armageddon. An inch of snow is Armageddon.
Yeah, they don't have the salt. They don't have the plows.
They don't have salt. They don't have the plows. They most people, if you're not in the rural area, don't have all-wheel drive cars.
Yep.
Right. They don't know. They're not used to driving it, so they don't go slower than what they normally should.
Start braking way back from the stop sign.
Yeah. So to them, it is Armageddon. But now, if you're in a rural area, you're in the country, they just drive their four-wheelers. They go out in the four-wheelers to have fun, other than waiting to driving the car. So but them Atlanta, Dallas, all these city areas with city folk don't. We going to work 3 days.
Come spend like a 2-week boot camp in Wisconsin one time in your life in the middle of winter, and you'll be ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You'll learn how to drive. You'll figure out what black ice looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, gentlemen, I should probably go. I got right out of work and joined. So
we're gonna have you on again in the future.
Of course,
Nate. I appreciate you, my friend. It's glad to see you again. Talk to you. You have a good time with your family and enjoy, my friend. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you, FD. I appreciate you guys. And one last thing. If anybody was here expecting me 2 weeks ago, like John and FD were, I am so sorry. I cannot tell you how embarrassed I was because I thought it was Thursday and I never put it in my calendar. I never even checked. And with a little kid, I'm just going day by day without even really with my head cut off. And so then, and I have a Instagram blocker so that I only can spend 30 minutes on there so I don't waste a ton of time. Mm-hmm. So you'd sent me the thing after it had already blocked my Instagram for the day. So I didn't even see the message. And then until the next day, at which point I realized my error. So I has somebody who has done this for years, and set up interviews and stuff. It's pretty lame when somebody doesn't show up and that's what you were planning on doing for the night. So I'm glad I got to get on here.
Yeah, well, as soon as you said you had a newborn, bro, it's all good. I think everybody here has been down that road and know that what you're doing. So
So we appreciate you coming out. It was no problem with us. We keep moving and we keep rolling. Let's make another date. We'll come back, make another date, see what we can do. But the calendar is probably the single best thing I've done in the last 6 months is putting our guests on my calendar. And we do try to book out 6 to 8 weeks ahead just because things happen. We don't want to be last minute for anybody.
Yep.
And like I literally just fill my calendar with dates. Like, hey, who's this week? Let me prepare a little bit. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
If you ever want me on again, just send me a text.
Yeah.
I am always FD. I don't think I'd ever gotten to meet you before. It's a pleasure.
No. But I've seen you on content before.
Yeah.
But I've never gotten to meet you before.
And John and I go way back. I always admired John because he was always dropping in buying Cubs and Bears cards in those PWCC live streams. And I was like, man, I admire that because he wasn't looking for like steals or anything. He was just looking to PC, and it was awesome. So, and he was always in every single live stream. So anytime, John, FD, that I can support you guys and help you in any which way, I gladly will.
Thank you.
Let everybody know where they can find you on Fanatics Live.
Oh yeah, if you're looking for me, you want to come join, chat with me, maybe even buy a box or a spot if you want to. Brewtown Trading Co. on Fanatics Live. So BREWTOWN Trading at Co. So
send me a message and I'll put it in the chat.
Perfect. Here I will. Oh, look, my Instagram time limiter. Speaking of,
I'll find it. No worries. We're good.
So, all right. Well, guys, thank you. And I'll talk to you guys later. Appreciate you guys.
See you later, sir.
That was a fun conversation, man. Yeah.
Great conversation. Yeah, I've seen him many times, man, on many videos and at events and soon. Yeah.
Very knowledgeable. Very like. When I got back in, it wasn't about the dollar value of the cars. It was more about building community, collecting, talking about it. So that was a good conversation.
Yes.
To have, having a Packers fan on.
Yeah,
cool. But we can't get out of here before we talk about Shedeur in the Pro Bowl, man. That's like we got to talk to this.
Well, this is my thing. Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball made their first Pro Bowl on an alternate situation.
Yeah.
People act like they've never heard of this.
No.
And there have been Hundley, there have been other players in the past that have like. So him going, I mean, it's a jump start to some stuff. It doesn't solidify the success of his career. He had a decent rookie year. He had some ups and downs. I'm happy.
You know what's funny?
What's
remember, Mac Jones was a Pro Bowler one year.
Yeah, his rookie year.
You want to know what's funny about this? How people are trying to frame the Pro Bowl as this prestigious award now that he got invited.
You get to go play football.
Yeah, but they should just do with the game if they can't get enough quarterbacks. He shouldn't. There's so many things I've seen on TV and Instagram to take that it's a travesty that Shedeur got to the Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Now, to me, a bigger conversation. I don't want to change subjects. You keep going. I'm gonna bring up something else that's bothering me. Go ahead.
But that's what bothered me. Like, did his stats deserve to be a Pro Bowl? No.
And I'm pretty sure there were other quarterbacks that got approached and said, "No, I'm good."
No, I mean, there's 15 quarterbacks. 12 of them are injured, either injured or said no before they got to him.
Yep.
Right. We know Drake May's not gonna go. Josh Allen is hurt. CJ Stroud probably said no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
anybody that probably just played like trash.
Yeah,
not gonna be there.
So him getting invited is whoop-de-doo. Great, cool, it's good to see, good for you. You can put it on your resume, but we all know the Pro Bowl ain't been shit for 20 years.
That's right.
It don't mean nothing.
Sean Taylor hit that punter.
Yeah, don't mean nothing. Now, if you said that he was an all-pro, then I can understand the being an uproar.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen.
But Pro Bowl, a last-minute NFC championship weekend invite to the Pro Bowl, and y'all mad? Y'all this angry and upset that we gotta go.
And you moved the Pro Bowl before the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
With you, John, and it's about the money he can bring to the Pro Bowl. Yeah.
yeah.
People now want to watch, talk about it. Yeah.
He's a lightning rod, but like he got more game than Tim Tebow.
Yeah. But you know people are gonna hate on Shador. He knows that. Not tripping. But let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
We want people to take the Hall of Fame seriously, and Bill Belichick's not a first ballot Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's just and it's the Bill Polian's doing? Bill Polian? The same man that said Lamar Jackson should be a running back and couldn't play quarterback? That Bill Polian? The Bill Polian mad that he lost to the Patriots for so many years?
It's a shame. It's a shame when archaic thinking raises its head in any part of life. It's a shame.
I can't understand these things. These things are not logical to me.
Well, they're not. It's because I'm telling you, more and more sports happens this way. Someone doesn't like someone. A lot of players are cut. A lot of coaches are hired and fired because someone doesn't like someone. It's not about analytics.
And let me put this on record. I believe that the Football Hall of Fame, NFL, any Hall of Fame, should be you on the ballot, either you're in or not. We shouldn't take multiple years to do this.
No, like Tom Brady should take his cleats off and walk right to a ceremony.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick should take his hoodie off with the cut-off sleeves and walk right to a ceremony.
This is no thought process. It's to me, when you asking somebody Hall of Famer, it's a simple yes or no. I don't gotta think about it. I don't need to look at their stats and see, is Andrew Jones a Hall of Famer? To me, watching them play, yes.
So you're gonna disrespect the man so that he could never have first ballot by his name. He could never be on that list. You're going to disrespect the man that was coaching when I was 11 years old and the Giants won the Super Bowl. And he was coaching before that.
Is this for the NFL Hall of Fame, right?
Yes.
Not just pro football.
No, I understand this is the NFL Hall of Fame.
So he won't be a first ballot. And what more than that, you're gonna take away the coach and quarterback going in together.
Yeah.
You know, so there were talk about this about 4 or 5 months ago on Sports Talk Radio here. And the question was who would induct who, right? Would the owner, Robert Kraft, induct Bill or Tom? Would they induct each other? Type of thing. But you're going to take that away because you're mad about Deflategate?
It doesn't even make sense, man.
It don't make sense.
And it's crazy that the league and everyone else will allow this to even happen.
Yeah. Like, commissioner. Okay.
The commissioner works for the owners.
Who's the head? Bill Polian and the owner? Who's the head of the NFL Hall of Fame? Are we dumb? Are we just y'all just forgot how to spell Belichick, huh? What's going on here? Yeah,
he's being disrespected, man.
The
way he looks like he's wired, he doesn't even care.
He probably don't, knowing him.
No, but you know what I would do?
Okay, he got somebody occupying his thought process.
Mind on the stuff. Yeah, but you know what I would do as a player? I would do just like TL. I have my own ceremony.
Yep.
I wouldn't even be there.
Yeah, like if I'm Tom, like I know at the end of the career, end of the dynasty, they had their differences. But like, do you want to go in the Hall of Fame without the coach, without the person that believed in you?
I don't think they're that tight, bro.
No. I don't think they're that tight anymore. But even Tom's gonna look at him like, there's no way I'm in the Hall of Fame without him.
What if he pulled that? What if he said that?
Because he's the owner.
He wouldn't
Because
say
he's a,
it, but what if he did?
because he's the owner, there may be a price too big for him to pay. But if anybody would consider doing it, it would be Tom Brady.
That was man was a cheater.
So was Tom. Okay, so was Tom Brady.
JC.
Darrell. So
I have a lot of comments about cheating at what? Are we talking about the Deflategate?
we talking about the video inside?
Bro, come on.
If he's considered that, so is Tom Brady.
The other teams are doing the exact same thing. Come on, man.
Don't even think about other teams doing it. If Bill is guilty of it, so is Tom Brady.
Yeah. And the Deflategate is all made up, bro.
Y'all making me talk with my hands. This 2 weeks in a row, y'all make me talk with my hands.
If you're believing in the Deflategate, bro, I got some ice water on the surface of the earth. I mean, the surface of the sun for you.
What you got for a pork chop?
Shannon Sharp said something the other day that I didn't know. You get game balls now a week or two before the game.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be game a day of. So, bro, come on.
Yeah,
I love it when marketing comes out and then people start talking about people cheating and what. No. Sure.
What to say in NASCAR, FD?
What does NASCAR say, sir?
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
No. Okay. But I told people years ago though, and everybody knows this. It's not just something I'm saying. They're going to find a way to disrespect the Patriots as much as possible. There are going to be players that should have been in that will be waiting. They're going to disrespect. They're going to do them just like they did the old school Raiders. There are guys who just went in that went on the 70s team. So they're going to do the Patriots the same way. Like, will Gronk be a first ballot? We don't know. Should be, without question.
You know, I put it like this: you can't say that you should be on the Mount Rushmore in your position or your job and not be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I agree.
There can't be a legitimate argument that you are on the Mount Rushmore and you are not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I would see somebody said we can't make him a unanimous Hall of Famer because of the cheating. That I would have. I'm like, all right, I understand that. But to not make him a first ballot because you want to talk about the Deflategate?
Man, they are racist, bigots, people that abuse wives, people who have abused children. There are all kind of people in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. Criminal.
Everything.
Criminal.
Anything. And if you go in the Hall of Fame and then get busted for something, your privileges are not revoked.
Michael Irvin's in the Hall of Fame, and we to this day joke about him snorting blow and doing crack.
I mean, it's Mr. Powder. He talked about the other day. Stop saying I'm on powder for Miami. Now, I did that for 25 years. I'm over it now.
Yeah. So you pick and choose.
Mm-hmm. And don't get to baseball. There are some cats in baseball that work.
Oh, like next year, the only people I think that should go in will be both Buster Posey and John Lester. That's the finalists. When I think of Posey and the Giants, I think he's a Hall of Famer. One of the best catchers ever, outside of Yachty, that. When I think of John Lester, you 16 Cubs, you were a vital part of that championship run. I have a soft spot for you.
Well, he won with the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, I take that, but I'm telling you, I have a soft spot for the 2016 Cubs team. Mm-hmm. And you add on top of what he did in Boston, put him in the Hall of Fame.
It's just interesting, some of the stuff you see here. OKC won tonight. Are you surprised that Golden State beat Minnesota by 20-some points?
No. What was going on with Pods and Anthony Edwards?
Oh, they were going back and forth talking, and then Doc Rivers, Austin Rivers was over there talking about him and didn't he play for Minnesota? Did he play with Edwards at one point?
I don't think so.
Hold on now. They know each other. I thought Austin Rivers.
They know each other.
He was
but I think because I know he's tight with Steph too.
Well, he was a baller, but he was over there joking that he would destroy Pods himself. So
I seen the video of Red Game. He was destroying.
Hey man, he played Minnesota this last season.
Oh,
yeah. So he knows that. So they were both over there joking that they will both destroy Pods. Who is this dude? And Pods was like talking that yik-yak to him. I think Pods is the kind of guy, just from my optics, he thinks he's around Steph and he's around Draymond. Bro, you ain't on that level.
Oh, so you think he's just Jordan Poole 2.0?
Yeah. A lot of these cats. That's who Kuminga is. He thinks he's doing something? Not doing much. Do you know we're getting into the wee hours of trade talk and nobody has been moved but Trae Young?
Mm-hmm.
Something wrong with that, Big Jon.
So, what else do you want to talk about? I got a show this weekend. Looking forward to it.
Are you excited?
I am excited. I'm definitely excited with all the snow and nobody being able to go to the show last week. So I'm excited.
The streets should be clear and stuff like this weekend.
Yeah. Well, again, if you were going out and planning to go out to the show last weekend, now, and that was like 6 shows in the state last Sunday. Now this Sunday coming, you're like, oh, what can I do? So there's only like 3 this Sunday. So I'm excited about that. I think I got a great mix of cards of all sports, and I got a bunch of I got a good bit of Pokemon that should go. So I am. Tell you one of the cards.
I can't wait to hear what you. Oh yeah,
I want to grade this.
The future,
but I figure I'd take it to the show and just see what, like a $56 card. So I'll see what happens and go from there. If nobody wants to buy it, drop it off of GameStop and get it back in 4 months.
Is that card numbered?
No, just a cracked ice.
It's a very nice looking card.
Yeah.
I think you'll move that, bro.
I'm pretty sure I'll move it.
Think you're gonna move it, man.
And the only reason why I'm willing to move it because I want to get into. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna want to get into something else to take to ET3 in 3 weeks. 2 weeks later, 2 weeks from now on 14th.
Okay.
To move into something else. We got that. What we got, showcase cards, the pink Scatterboo, Pokemon, Caleb's schemes, Popo, Tony Critton, some Drake Mays, the nice $5-10 cards for the showcase. This is just what I was pricing during our conversation. You know what? Help me out, chat. Should I sell a rookie J-Dub out of 199? I can't find price comps on it, and I don't remember what I bought it for. I don't know what I want to do with this.
You can't find pricing on it.
Not of the exact red. I don't know why I can't when I was trying to look it up.
Is there something right around it, number higher or lower?
Yeah, I think it's around like $40. And I just, my gut is I know I would probably prefer. I talked myself into starting the page at the show to have a nice card that'll be a attention getter. My gut actually does not know what I want to do with that card. Do I want to just sell it raw or just want to try to grade it? It looks clean.
Do you think it's gradable? Like a high
It's
grade?
gradable. It's definitely gradable. I just don't know if it's worth getting back 6 months from now, value wise.
These times ain't got any better, bro? These times haven't gotten better?
Listen, it's January 27th, and my December 5th order hasn't even been checked in. So we'll see. Oh,
What are we? About what? When does Gym Ray come out?
it'll be that Sunday morning. It'll come out. If not Saturday.
Be interesting to see.
Take a look at this.
We know that Burbank. We know that Beckett was grading at the Dallas Card Show.
Yeah. What do you think about them upping the price to 65 from 25 to 65 for the card review?
To me, I didn't understand why it was still 25. 65 seems higher, but I never understood why it was still 25. Jared McCain?
This is a nice Jared McCain that I got last show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that I got it for the price that I got it for. I think I got it for like 35. I remember the negotiation well, because there were no comps around it out of 15, and the first one just sold for 60 basically.
Mm-hmm.
Negotiating, gotta negotiate. It's hard on things that have no comps.
It's true.
Right? I mean, it's out of 15, but it's a not game used, not confirmed affiliated.
But McCain's been hurt back. A lot of
He's
people
been hurt.
So a lot of people might be waiting to see.
Well, it's a good looking card.
It is.
And the one I have has a much better patch. It's like a full number on the bottom, like a 6-color patch.
Big Jon, you think anybody can beat? Oh, did you see the weight gain on? I already knew this. I saw him the other day. You see the weight gain on Halliburton?
Yeah.
What's up with that? I think players go through, man. That's what I think it is. So you got Halliburton gaining weight, and you got Jason Tatum saying something about if he played Memphis, he have a statue outside, but he's always compared to Larry Bird. These guys going through, man. When you're hurt like that and you're sitting around and Jaylen Brown's out here balling, that starts eating at you, man. I don't care how much money you're making, especially if you really want to play.
You know how we talked about got to spin the narrative and got to stay confident. You ain't heard much from Jason Tatum all year. Not much.
No.
But the minute that Brown is putting it down, 50-point games, winning with third in the East.
Things on
this team.
It's on his head.
I got to speak something.
And what he was talking about is like, why Memphis? Why did you pick Memphis to talk?
Because Memphis ain't got no championship history.
But there's a lot of teams that don't have a championship history.
Yeah, but who? I mean,
did Ja catch some strays?
Oh, most definitely.
What is that?
But if you're a star player for Boston, you're a star player for the Lakers, you're a star player for Miami, you're a star player for the Bulls. Who else has a good?
Yeah, he could have said if I was on the Pacers.
Yeah, but I'm saying you
could have said if I was on New Orleans.
If you're on those sports franchises, you have legitimate Hall of Fame champion pedigree that you are playing against. Right?
Was he thinking about that when he won a championship?
Mm-hmm. I don't know about him being compared to Bird.
He's not being compared to Bird. Nobody's comparing him to Bird. Never will.
You're being compared to Bird Parrish.
No, he's being compared to Jalen.
No, I'm saying. No, even Jalen Brown in that organization that has the most championships, you're being compared to a bunch of greats from the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, but Big Jon, everybody knows Jason Tatum's not great, bro. He's not great. So you can compare him to somebody that's legendary.
I've consistently said that Brown is the better player, even with no left hand.
And even with Brown being a better player, there's no comparison between Larry Bird and Brown.
No, not at all.
We're talking about legends. We're talking about guys who went to the finals and fought against other Hall of Famers for the crown.
We're talking about guys who talking about Larry Brown, a guy who won a 3-point contest without taking his warm-up ball and told you he was going to do it.
You got to think, Jalen Brown, but they beat Luka?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
And people still trying to run this Luka MVP conversation.
There's no conversation. Luka will never win an MVP. And I don't say never often.
Yeah. So here's the patch.
Yeah. It's
That's
nice.
a much better patch than the white one.
Yeah.
The red. So I actually think I'm gonna price this one on the back. It looks better. Take away that price tag takes away from the patch. No, I'm so. Are we doing this Saturday?
Yeah, I'll come. I'll say yeah.
It's
what
2 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock your time is when it starts.
Okay, I'll confirm with April. Let me confirm with April tonight. I don't think I have anything going on.
So Zerny, Hero,
Right.
Toby.
Right. Yeah.
Potentially, we're going to do a Royal Rumble pod, and we're going to actually have FD watching some of the Rumble as we talk about sports and wrestling.
Yes. Did we talk to Toby and
I gotta send Toby a message, see if he'll come on. I know I got some people that said they'll come on.
Okay.
So I think it'll be fun and cool to watch. And because I used to have Royal Rumble parties and WrestleMania parties. That's like we getting the food, we send the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Them the only two that I would do that for. Because I just need to know so I make sure I can get my food situation and be settled in time.
What about New Breed? You think New Breed's coming?
Yeah, New Breed's coming. New Breed said he'll come through. I don't think the Royal Rumble is most casual people's favorite pay-per-view.
Okay.
Just because it's a battle royal. You don't need necessarily to know the ins and outs of the storylines to watch the Royal Rumbles. You'll pick it up as they talk. And then there's always some legends that people are familiar with come back in.
Very cool. I'm excited. 11 o'clock. Let me confirm.
All right, well,
how long would it go for?
About 3 hours. 2.5, 3 hours.
So that means it ends around 2 o'clock here?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a lunch break.
Yeah, it's a lunch break for you. It's gonna be.
I'm down for it.
Time for me.
Maybe I should have some little food around me. You know what I'm saying? Have a little.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna have food around me and be eating. So
have a little something. Very cool, man. Nate, it was good to have Nate on. That was cool.
I think next week is just me and you. I think we got somebody. We got one guest in February right now. I got some people I need to reach out to. Let's take it easy.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys.
Hey, I appreciate you all for being here. Thanks for taking your time on this Tuesday, the last Tuesday of 2020 of January 2026. Thank you very much, Big Jon. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And our boys, Quiet Car Podcast, are live on YouTube. So go over there and hang out.
Okay. I'll go over there right now. Let me go over there.
All right.
Let's see what's popping. Sir, I hope you have a great night, man.
You too.
Peace.
Peace
Y'all
out.
keep rolling, people. Until the wheels fall off.